The fans are out for what will be a wonderful afternoon of racing. Front row, Noah Gragson, Josh Berry. Gragson takes the inside lane. Row 2, all about Joe Gibbs Racing. Jones and Ty Gibbs. The pace car going to head to pit road. Sit back and enjoy the NASCAR Xfinity Series live from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
See a great push there from the 19, pushing Noah out front. He's trying to clear the outside lane as well so he can sneak up top, but
not quite, Joey.
Not quite.
That's what it's going to take for this race. We're going to see that all day long. Pushes on starts, restarts. You want to get out front as quick as you can and set the pace.
Gragson jumps to the high lane behind him now teammate Josh Berry.
That's what you want in a situation like this. Put my teammate behind me. That's the safest player you can have behind you, drafting with you. This is one of those racetracks you're not going to be able to really do it on your own. It's going to be nice to have a little bit of help.
Top lane's already showing some strength. We saw that in the truck race here just an hour or two before here, Joey, where that top lane really builds momentum on the corner exits and carries that speed. Bottom lane, not so much on the straightaways, but in the corners, that shorter distance gains some time and speed.
Does that surprise you that the high lane has been the way to go? I think so many people anticipated you'd want to be on that bottom line.
Well, it doesn't look like it's, I mean, the top's definitely got more cars up there for sure, but, you know, eventually if you got to start lifting because you're behind cars so much, that bottom lane could start to prevail again, as we see right now.
Great start for the series here, you know. This was a track we were worried about the start. We worried we'd see a lot of attrition, and we still might. We're very early in the race. I think I might have already jinxed it.
Did you say that? 3 wide?
But great start so far. It had been really calm up until I opened my mouth here, guys.
Well, that's what we're talking about. This isn't Daytona anymore, where the cars are just bolted to the racetrack and got a ton of grip. You've seen AJ just get loose and slide up the racetrack a little bit. That's where this track is, kind of in between those two.
The 11 up the middle, Daniel Hemrick nearly won this race last July, leading on a late restart when he crashed.
Let's take a look back here at AJ Allmendinger. Gets into turn 3, and then this is a tough spot in the track. You see, he just gets loose, chases it up the hill. The 54, Ty Gibbs, gives him a little room, but he's saying thank you. And he's able to go on to fight another day here, Joey.
I bet it got his attention.
Oh, yeah. And that seems to be one of the toughest spots on the track for the drivers, is the entry to turn 3. It's got a bigger transition. You know, the front stretch, you kind of, Adam, you turn down into the corner and you're able to work your way into it, where turn 3 is just one big abrupt turn, and the cars kind of get upset right there. So that's one of the trouble spots to look out for in today's race.
Yeah, we talked about the top lane being strong, but now they're strung out on the bottom of the racetrack, where, you know what, the cars are different than trucks and the drivers are different than trucks. So many times we've seen the draft, you know, just change over time, not because the cars are changing, because the drivers are evolving.
AJ, he's got his courage back up. He's making some big runs here on the top into turn 3 on the outside.
He's not scared. AJ Allmendinger to 4th in the outside lane.
11, if you're near him, I might have to run higher up in 3-4. He's jumping sideways a bit. Copy that. He'll follow you if you go there.
That's that teamwork that we talked about. It's nice to have teamwork with you, and honestly, nobody does it better than Colleague.
They do.
They work the best on super speedways, even every type of track, but AJ knowing and having that confidence that the 11 of Daniel Hemrick is going to follow him on any move he makes allows those two cars to progress to the front.
No doubt, Joe. I think we've seen that for the last few years in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, that Matt Colleague, his teams, I don't know, maybe he gives them a good speech before the race, but they work together very well, and they get results from it, running up front and kind of controlling races. They're not all the way to the lead right now, but they're in a good spot.
Allmendinger on the move early, Jamie.
Yeah, and AJ hasn't been happy with the way the car has been racing the past couple of weeks. So they came here. He was really comfortable in the car, liked how it drove earlier in practice. So I asked his crew chief, Bruce Schlicker, and he said, well, that was all fine and great, but we were a little slow. So we actually trimmed it out a bit for the race to try to give him some speed. And it's working so far, as you can see. Remember, he has the same exact setup as his two teammates.
And he's one of the 3 drivers this year, AJ, that's been top 10 in every race. We're 8 laps in at Atlanta for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Noah Gragson has now led 15 of the last 16 races, and he's been out front for every circuit today. NASCAR started racing here at Atlanta in 1960. They repaved this place last time 1997. It had been 25 years, but after the race here last July, they ripped up the pavement. And not only did we get new asphalt, we got a new configuration, went from 24 to 28 degrees in the corners, wider on the front straightaways, more narrow in those corners, and it has made for some entertaining racing already. We've seen it in practice in the truck race today. Let's ride around J.J. Yaley here. It's our Work Pro Tools onboard camera.
Absolutely, Adam, and I love this visor cam here because you can get a feel for how much different Atlanta is now. Not only does the pavement look really pretty and brand new, but the track has got some big bumps in it. You're going to see a big bump here off of turn 2 here in just a second. Got the sun in your eyes driving down at turn 1, and I think the big thing is you're wide open. Old Atlanta, no way. But this new Atlanta, Joey, you can really haul the mail wide open all the way around.
Easy wide open. We used to be able to almost do that in qualifying. Now you're going to do it the whole run. Like you said, it might be a repave, but it is a bumpy repave. These cars bounce around a lot out there, which really just adds more to it. You know, it's not just as simple as holding it wide open. The cars are right on edge of slipping out.
I was going to say, to me, the bumps add character. As a driver, you describe the bumps how?
Fun when your car goes through them well. Not so much fun when they don't. You know, when you're taking when you're pushing another car or you get pushed and you go over one of those bumps, woo, that really can tense you up because you know you're right on the edge. Just slips the car just a little bit.
Nice battle here from 5th on back. What's the word on Justin Allgaier, Regan?
Well, Adam, you see Justin making a move right now. He had planned to make this move, wanted to try something before the end of the stage, but a little bit earlier on, he's got the competitive juices flowing already in that race car, frustrated with Sheldon Creed. Take a listen.
Yeah, well, the 2 is just trying to wreck everybody and hook me into the back straightaway fence like an idiot. Just breathe. He'll take care of himself. Bye-bye, 2. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, that is what it is. So everyone's racing hard, but what I like seeing here, we're coming to the competition caution at lap 20. Everyone's going for it at this point, right? Yep. Everyone was single file, not want to lose a bunch of spots. If you know there's a caution coming out, go for it. Go make a run at it, try to gain 3 or 4 spots before the caution.
And this is exactly why NASCAR puts stage breaks, competition yellows in, things of this nature, because it gets drivers going like this, and juice is flowing. And we see this race just got crazy as we're coming to the lap 20 comp yellow.
And you know, no points handed out here, but you don't want to lose control of the race if you're Noah Gragson. Major incentive to stay out front as we work lap 20 and anticipate the caution flag will come soon.
Yeah, and the draft is really starting to work up here. You see the 2 wide behind him. AJ's trying to make a run on the 9 anywhere he can. Goes to the bottom here into turn 3 almost. Not a big enough run. And you don't know when the caution's going to come out here. It could come out at any point on lap 20.
Yeah, this isn't like the end of a stage when you're racing back to that green and white checkered flag. When does NASCAR throw it? We've completed lap 20 now. And we'll see when the caution comes out. Likely earlier than normal in this situation because the field will cycle across the start-finish line much earlier than they might in a normal situation. And there is our first yellow of the day. It is the competition caution.
That gave everyone a little bit of comfort, though, too. Making some moves, seeing what I can do. A lot of times when you see everyone that's single file, they're scared, don't know what to do. And this really gets everyone racing. Here we see the 68 Brandon Brown.
Whoa, he's having a little moment here. Nice save.
That reminded me a little of Josh Berry in practice, but I think he got more than he bargained for there.
That may not look like a lot to you at home, but when you're inside that car,
oh, it feels like a lot.
Your pants are brown.
Yeah.
He needs to go to Anthony Alfredo, whose sponsor is Dude Wipes.
Dude Wipes.
There you go.
There you go.
There's Luke Lambert. Talked about the success that he and Noah Gragson have had this year. 4 consecutive top 3 finishes to begin the year.
All different types of racetracks. That shows the strength in that 9 team right now.
Who's impressed you the most? Noah Gragson certainly leading all the laps. After that, to me, I might go the route of A.J. Allmendinger. I like how he slid back and then made the rally.
I like the fact that even though his car wasn't driving great, he did not give up. And, you know, he drove forward, if anything, and he's shown some really good moves. Got a lot of speed in that car. As we were talking about that earlier with our pit road reporters, they went for speed, what Jamie Little was telling us, over handling, and he's showing just that. He's got the speed, maybe not so much to handling. We'll see what they do on this pit stop.
Well, Brad, you know how it is, though. If you have a car that's got speed, you better not lose track position. So you got to do everything you can do to get that clean air in the car, because AJ's car will drive worse and worse as he falls further back in the field. So you got to do everything you can to stay aggressive and be up front when you have a car that's built around speed, not handling.
Pit road is not opened yet, so we'll see what strategies do play out here under the competition caution. Tomorrow on Fox, the NASCAR Cup Series is here at Atlanta for a battle on the new track. See what driver will rise up and take home the checkered flag. The engines fire for the Folds of Honor. Quick Trip 500 tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern on Fox. Our coverage begins here on FS1, 1:30 Eastern time with race day. Man, I think about 5. Ooh, look at the 54 of Ty Gibbs. A little overheating, huh? Pushing some water.
You know, for the fans at home, the NASCAR Xfinity Series cars, what that is that's what the pop-off valve for the radiator. And basically, when the car gets too hot, it shoots water out. Now, they put it on the right side of the car, so you can still kind of see it, but you don't get burned as the driver. But a little bit usually is okay. When you start to see that a lot, and that was almost borderline a lot,
and it's
now
early.
You've got real problems, especially exactly for how early it is in the race.
It'll be interesting. I don't expect many cars to pit on this competition caution, right? I think a lot of them will probably stay out here. If they do pit, maybe they can make it all the way to the end of the second stage.
You can.
Maybe they will pit for that reason. If you're Ty Gibbs and you're overheating, it might give you all the more reason to pit here.
Or if you're up front, do you stay out, say 10th on back, you pit, and then try to flip it at the end of the stage.
Yeah, I can definitely see this flipping right here.
Track position.
Here we go.
A.J. Allmendinger, first taker.
On back. How about from 3rd on back? At least 3rd and 4th come down. A couple of guys in the top 5. A.J. Allmendinger, his teammate Daniel Hemrick, and a handful of others making pit stops here at the competition caution. Jamie?
So A.J. Allmendinger said, I'm a touch free and I need to be careful running on the bottom. They thought about making an adjustment for it, but they also said, if we adjust for that, we're going to lose some speed. So it sounds like maybe just a 4-tire stop here. No drink necessary, hasn't worked up enough yet. And his teammate, the 11 in as well. Car's pretty good, just a 4-tire stop. Crew chiefs told me this is a great opportunity here at the competition caution to check fuel mileage and to check tire wear.
Those colleague teammates going with 4 tires, Landon Castle, also came down pit road. Saw Riley Herbst come in. Remember, he's the guy that had the issue prior to the green flag. Maybe he can flip the stage and get a little track position.
Why has the 54 car won 6 of the last 7 races on mile-and-a-half tracks? Start at the show Car 54, Where Are You? The show aired before Bonanza. Also a Bonanza. Studio 54. Located in New York City in the late 1970s. Just like Yankees legend Goose Gossage. The Yankees play in the Bronx, home of City Island, which is 1.5 miles long. What show films scenes in City Island? Car 54, Where Are You?
I'd say recently, especially on mile-and-a-half tracks, if you want to know where the 54 car is, you just look at the front. You don't have to ask the question, Car 54, where are you? And here it is by the numbers. You look at their wins since the beginning of last year. Maybe the most impressive thing a season ago, the fact that Ty Gibbs won 5 times. Kyle Busch also won 5 times in this car. That's great company.
It's a great team. Chris Gale, crew chief, every time they put this car on the racetrack, it is, if not the car to beat, right there with the car to beat. So we got fast race cars, good drivers, good things tend to happen.
Just over 10 laps to go to end the stage. Your observations as we see the fans in the stands who love them some Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. How are these two sitting together, by the way?
One kid there is really smart. Really smart.
What are your observations about going high and low? It looks like we got some teammates working together here.
Yeah, you know, the choose is going to be something that these drivers are going to learn about. This choose rule, whether you go to the inside or the outside, nobody has any data to go back on. So right now, it's trial and error. One thing you know that's probably the safest thing, go with your teammate.
Junior Motorsports cars down low. Joe Gibbs Racing up high. Gregson Jones on the front row.
Bottom lane's just a little bit better with the push so far, Joey.
A shorter distance seemed like it might have been the difference to get the 9 out front. Still getting the push from the 1, Sam Mayer. Barely clear, if that.
The guys that finished 1-2 last week in Phoenix running 1-2 today. Gregson and Jones, number 9, all clear with 13 to go, stage 1.
Here comes a big run. Ty Gibbs gave the 19 a big push. And that's where you have to decide, do I take the run and try to take the lead here, or do I try to push my lane forward? He chose to push the 9.
All 4 Junior Motorsports cars in the top 10. All 3 Gibbs cars in the top 10. Boy, have they been good all season long. Lots of speed.
Bottom lane starting to fade back now. Only 3 cars down there. We see this all the time in this series. Daytona, Talladega, where the high lane is just so dominant. And we're seeing it again here today at Atlanta.
Not for long, though, Brad, because there's only 12 to go in the stage. I got one in the fence back there. I didn't see who it was.
You think about this.
51.
Mayer started row 2 on that inside lane. Gives a great assist to his teammate, but now the 1 has drifted back, being scored 6th on the racetrack, maybe now 5th as he races down to the inside of Barry. And Daniel Hemrick made a 2nd pit stop under caution. Jamie, what's the story there?
Well, Adam, he had come in and got 4 tires, and they pulled some tape. This right here, the problem was they pulled too much. He had to come back in, and they put some more tape on the nose. Gentlemen, you can explain what exactly it does when they put a little bit of tape on the nose of that car.
Well, the tape, especially in these cars, not as much in the Cup cars anymore. You can't put tape on those cars anymore. But these Xfinity cars and the trucks, that tape, it does 2 things, and 2 of them are great. 1, it puts downforce on the car, makes it handle better. 2, takes drag off the car and makes it go faster down the straightaway. The penalty is the car runs hotter, and there's a limit to that, obviously. So you want to try to hit that number the best you can, because that is just raw speed in your race car.
Hemrick back in the 29th position right now.
Bottom lane's not giving up. A strong run down here with, looks like, Josh Berry to the bottom of Ty Gibbs, fighting for the 3rd place.
You know, and Josh goes down there, he knows that he's got Sam Mayer, his teammate, in the 1 right behind him. You got another fast car in the 18 of Trevor Bayne. All can make this bottom lane possibly work here. All it's going to take is 1 more. It might change the whole look of it.
Nice push into turn 3. Starting to roll ahead.
I was told when they did the tire test here, just not enough momentum to get to the bumper of the guy in front of you. I think now we're starting to see you put all these cars out here together. The momentum is much better. You can close up and really give a shove.
So much more energy on the racetrack when you put, 30 cars out there, bumper to bumper. The runs just keep getting bigger.
Josh Berry started on the front row, drifted back right around 10th, 12th, but here comes the 8 in the mix. Now running 2nd to his teammate Noah Gregson, who's led every lap so far. 7 to go, stage 1.
And Noah's going to try to block both lanes, but he's going to try to pull up his teammate if he can.
Oh, he lost the outside here, Joey, to Brandon Jones.
Jones with drafting help from his teammate Ty Gibbs.
Now you got Gibbs versus Junior Motorsports.
Ooh, this is getting really good.
He's going to pull a big side draft here. The 19 is on the 9. He's going to get a big run through the corner here. Try to clear him, not going to be enough. And you see the bottom's pretty tight here, Brad.
Just trading side drafts here every lap. Noah's got a really fast car, but I think you don't want to give up the top here.
I think he's going to get a great push down this back straightaway. Might get him cleared into turn 3 here.
Huge push, and that'll do it. Nice job. One of the things I'm noticing is it looks like Ty Gibbs is having a little bit of trouble keeping up with the 19 car. That outside lane just isn't quite as formed as we've seen it in the past here.
5 to go on the stage. Couple of drivers to pay off in the top 10. Jeff Burton is there. Brandon Brown. Brett Moffitt hanging around the top 10 as well.
You know, I'd say some of the best handling cars are on the bottom of the racetrack right now. Those cars that are able to just stick it on that line with other cars in front of them with dirty air and still be able to hold that bottom and stay tight. Those are good handling cars. The 8, the 1 to 18, all great handling cars right now. And that's what you need for the bottom to work. One of those cars not handling will stretch out the whole bottom, and the whole bottom will just go away.
Your evaluation of the way Noah has managed the inside and the outside lane, blocking those runs coming from behind him.
He's working hard. He's working real hard. His spotter's doing a great job. That one right there was really close into turn 1 between the 9 and the 18 there. Wow.
What about the 27? He's in the middle of this mix, Regan.
He is out and running just in the backside of the top 10, but keep an eye out for him. He's having to get out of line. We talked about guys putting tape on the grill. That car overheating and spewing water. He's trying to get air on the nose right now.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, that you're running so tight in the draft, you're getting no natural air, which will cause these cars to overheat maybe more so than what you normally would at a track like Atlanta.
And we're coming to 2 to go at the end of the stage, and his business is picking up.
Whew, I don't know how many more of these blocks Noah's going to be able to throw on Brandon Jones. They've been getting really close every lap.
He's got to feel a little confidence knowing that his teammate's down on the bottom.
Justin Allgaier takes it 3 wide up the middle. He's going to push Ty Gibbs out of the pack here.
And that's a move we saw a little bit in Cup practice. We haven't seen it happen a whole bunch here in the Xfinity Series yet, but Justin Allgaier was paying attention.
Trevor Bayne in the middle of that lead pack. Brandon Brown in the top 10, no problem. Gonna be again. 3 wide. Wow. Allgaier up the middle. What a move by the 7.
Wow.
1 to go.
He made a move. Wow, is right.
Junior Motorsports, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Somewhere Dale Jr. is smiling. And Kelly Earnhardt is saying, just keep it all together.
Don't screw it up now.
Noah Gragson swept the 2 stages a couple of weeks ago at Las Vegas. Won 1 of the 2
Josh Berry's going to pull a bottom side draft to win the stage.
1 here at the line. It's his teammate, Josh Berry, who wins the opening stage. He just laid in the weeds and then got him.
Man, poor Noah led every single lap of the first stage until the last one. Josh Berry, great move.
Second career stage win for Berry. Gragson heartbroken for a 2nd consecutive week. Remember last week's stage 1? Trevor Bayne got him in Phoenix.
Right.
Berry, Gragson, Allgaier, Mayer, and Trevor Bayne, your top 5 at Atlanta. Stage 1 complete for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was a junior motorsports freight train at the front. Berry, Gregson, Allgaier, and Mayer. Listen to number 9 radio here.
So I didn't know we were coming to the checkers. Yeah, it said 2 at the line and then 1 at the line. One more. Yeah, no, I'm not listening, you know. Yeah, it's 10-4.
Just what every spotter wants to hear. I wasn't listening to you.
Well, we found a guy who likes the result. We found a guy who doesn't like the result.
He's saying to his friends, hey, why didn't you guys wear your Josh Berry shirt? It worked for me. Berry and others on pit road, Regan.
Well, Adam, they are including Justin Allgaier. You see Josh Berry right there. Justin Allgaier, that race car has the windshield covered in oil, so somebody putting some oil down on the racetrack. 2 tires for him, a little bit tight with that race car. Josh Berry, the call was 4 tires for them. Really likes that race car. No complaints with it right now. Jamie?
And Noah Gragson, no complaints either, other than the fact he didn't listen, so he gave up a little bit, maybe that stage win there. 4 tires here for the 9. The 18 of Trevor Bayne in the number 1 pit box. He struggled on pit road the last couple of weeks. This time, though, the boys got it done. He has new guys going over the wall. Cup Cruise from Bubba Wallace.
Great report there from Jamie. Number 1 pit stall paying dividends as well. And you see the race off pit road. Josh Berry, the victor in stage number 1. Let's hear from the 8.
Josh Berry, Brad Keselowski up here in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
I got you loud and clear there, Brad.
Well, I got to tell you, that was a heck of a move to win that stage. Did you have that one prepared?
I don't know about that. I told these guys before we started, I'm just a late model racer, so help me out all I get. But I had a lot of help there from Sam from behind, and all our cars lined up pretty good there, and we got to race it out. It was really fun.
Well, 10-4, nice work. The junior motorsports cars look really fast. We also saw you running the bottom lane a lot. How's your car driving?
Yeah, I feel like my car's balance is a little better on the bottom than the top. That's kind of why I wanted to get down there, and I needed a little air. I was running a little hot, so we're going to stay after it here. Good start to the day for sure. Just want to thank Harrison's Workwear for coming on board here today. We're going to try to take them to victory lane.
Well, 10-4, you're off to a great start. Congratulations, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you, man.
What's the Tim McGraw song? Humble and kind. I'm just a late model driver. He's also a winner in the opening stage. Stage 2 coming up on a great day in Atlanta. We'd love for you to join us. Fox Corporation has helped raise more than $10.8 million for the American Red Cross to support their mission of providing aid and resources, including food, water, medical supplies, and housing support to people in Ukraine and those who have been forced to leave their homes. You can join Fox in supporting the Red Cross relief efforts. Donate by visiting redcross.org/FoxForward or by scanning the QR code at the bottom of your screen. With Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, I'm Adam Alexander. Let's go back and look at Noah Gregson's pit stop here. They got 4 tires at the end of stage 1.
Oh, that hurt. A little jack handle to the face action there. These guys are tough. You know, a lot of these guys come from college athletics, and whew, they take a beating throughout the season. That one looked like it hurt.
What'd you see on that pit stop, Jamie?
And that was a rough pit stop for this 9 bunch. I just checked with the team. This is a brand new pit crew working together for the first time. They are a development team with Hendrick, and what they do at Hendrick Motorsports, they'll do 4 weeks with one pit crew and then rotate. They use a lot of the Cup guys as well, so that's what happened, working together for the first time. Regan?
Well, Jamie, Josh Berry, you heard him touch on the fact that he had to move to the bottom. That was because his car was getting hot as well. But when he moved to the bottom at the end of that run, actually worked out very well for him. Found out his car was better down there, and one of the very few cars I've heard say he would prefer to be down there. Keep an eye on that as this race plays out late in the going.
The other thing we have to look at here, Regan, is strategy. Those junior motorsports cars, 3 of the 4 took 4 tires on this stop, so they will restart outside the top 15. Justin Allgaier got 2 tires. He restarts inside the top 10. Basically 3 levels of strategy. The drivers out front, pitted at lap 23, stayed out here. Those guys just behind them got 2 tires in their stop at the end of stage 1. Everybody else got 4. They've got some ground to make up. Front row, Allmendinger, Landon Castle. Here we go for stage 2.
We definitely got a new cast of characters up to the front here, so it's going to change the way some of this is going up towards the front.
21's pushing the 10. 21's still pushing the 10, still pushing the 10.
AJ's car is so fast right here. He had very little help from behind. Wasn't getting that push as we talk about all the time, and he's still able to really keep it up there. That was impressive, Joey.
It'd be interesting to see his move here, too. He's got another Collie car down in the bottom. Landon Castle in the number 10. He's probably going to try to pull that car up, but he also has the 11 of Daniel Hemrick right behind the 48. We talked about how those Collie cars work together so well. It goes into their decision-making for sure when they're picking which lines to pull ahead.
48 is Jade Buford. Give a call to that race team. 2nd year full-time. Gone through a considerable amount of growth. Buford, a great road racer, no doubt looking forward to next weekend's race when we get to run Circuit of the Americas COTA in Austin, Texas. And so is the guy out front, A.J. Allmendinger. So good at road racing. Got his first oval win in NASCAR right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway a couple of years ago, and he's got the field in tow this afternoon.
That's the way right there. That works good. 1 back to the 10. 10 is outside with the 10.
Josh Berry ready to get back to the front, middle of 3, trying to drive through it. Recover back from that 16th place spot here.
Look at him.
Oh,
how
tight is that? Noah's in the wall.
Into the wall.
A little bit.
He got a big push.
You're all clear.
Woo! He got a big push. The closing rate, as we've talked about, incredible.
He's in trouble. He's in trouble. He needs the pit here, Joey. Really got in the wall. You saw a lot of damage there with our Fox camera down the backstretch.
Right front going down.
Restarted outside the top 20 after the 4-tire stop. Was running 15th when this happened.
And here you see the move. He's going to try to go to the top thinking he's going to be 3 wide. What he doesn't know, he's 4 wide, and the track's dirty up there. And the car just starts to step out on him, and he taps the wall with the right rear. Gets that fender rub. Hopefully that tire holds air for a while.
How much of that is making a move to pass, which we know he's capable of that, very aggressive driver, versus just not anticipating how quickly he's going to close on to 51?
Well, there was no way for him to know that he was going on to the top of 4. I think he thought he was going to the top of 3, and it just all happened all at once as he comes to pit road right now. We'll see what they do if they put right side tires on it.
Unscheduled pit stop for last week's winner. 4 consecutive races inside the top 3. It's been an incredible start to the year for the 9, but he's got to make a pit stop not even halfway into the second stage.
You know, the penalty of pit under green is a lot different than it is at Daytona. The track being a lot shorter, we talked about it's only 1.5 miles. He's going to go down a lap and some.
Maybe 2.
Right here as they try to fix the damage and change the right side tires.
Good news for him. He'll be the only guy a lap down. So if nobody else goes a lap down, we get to the end of stage 2. He can find himself in a position where he gets the free pass and more problems for the 98 of Riley Herbst. He's overheating, and this looks to be more concerning than some of the other guys. The hood is up on that Ford.
Well, this is pretty interesting that a lot of cars are overheating. That's not by miscalculation in my mind. This is a brand new racetrack. Some of the asphalt may be kind of coming up and getting into the radiator. We've seen some of that in our practice. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we're seeing right now.
You know, we've had some cycles on strategy, but let's give credit where credit is due. We talked about Jade Buford. Right behind him, teammates, Tommy Joe Martins in the 45, and Sage Karam. Karam is a noted IndyCar driver, won the Indy Lights Championship. He finished 7th in the Indy 500 last May. He wants to make the move full-time to NASCAR. I'd say runs like today will help his cause. The first of what will be likely 10 starts for Tommy Joe Martins in Alpha Prime Racing this season.
Absolutely. Look at Trevor Bayne go to the bottom here by himself. He's got no help. This
what you're doing right here. You got
let's
help
see how this works
you.
out for him. See Trevor Bayne down there in the 18 by himself, trying to get any draft he can, trying to stay close to that outside lane. If he can't find a hole here, he's going to be in trouble. But you did.
So Sage and his teammate, Tommy Joe Martins, in front of him here, they both pitted at lap 23. So they're benefiting from that strategy. Smart call, and this was the risk versus reward. Risk of pitting at lap 23, get in the back. If there's an accident, there's nowhere to go. The reward, well, you're seeing it right now. Get towards the front when everybody else pits.
I'll say this. The best of those drivers that made a pit stop at the end of stage 1, Brandon Brown. 68 is up to 6. We'll keep an eye on him as we roll on from Atlanta, where Allmendinger is out front.
Again. Oh, yeah, he's a
Midway point, stage 2, NASCAR Xfinity Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The track is brand new. The racing is electric.
It is, and it's I mean, the moves that are happening on the racetrack, even though they look like they're single file right now, back towards the middle of this pack, There's a lot of drivers making runs. You're going to see the 7 go to the bottom here. They're trying to leapfrog. We call it leapfrog, and it's trying to gain one spot and getting back up. But here you see the 7 of Justin Allgaier. He didn't get back up. He's in trouble. And now he's going to lose a bunch of spots and try to get in, hopefully behind the 10 if he's lucky.
Nope.
The 10 of Landon Castle also has been doing this a lot during a commercial break.
Yeah, the 2 of Sheldon Creed, the 10 of Landon Castle have been putting on a show here using this leapfrog move where basically, for the fans at home, they pass one car, they can get back in line as fast as they can, sometimes 2 cars, and it's really exciting to watch.
This is really reminiscent of me to a race at Daytona, where you get in that line in the outside and you dip down low just hoping you have some help to push you forward, right? Is that a fair comparison as Allgaier slides into line?
Austin Hill trying to pull a leapfrog move here, but he's not going to get clear, Joey. This is the risk. You make all these leapfrogs, you try to get to the front, you miss one, you go all the way to the back.
Yeah, and for Austin Hill there, the 7 snuck up in front of him with no momentum. So it's either run in the back of him or check up or make the move and try to go to the bottom and make it work. At this point, they're so far back in this single file pack, you got nothing to lose. You might as well go for it. You always got to weigh that risk versus reward, right? Can I lose 5 spots? Okay, maybe I can handle that. Can I lose 15 spots? Maybe I'm not going to make the move quite yet.
16 laps to go, stage 2. Justin Allgaier, 12th right now.
I knew you didn't want me to try it then, but I had to. I had to go into a run. I wanted to see what it would do.
All right, now we got to concentrate on stage points.
Yeah, and you hear Justin Allgaier there saying, I wanted to try it and see if it worked. You know, now he lost his track position. You know, might as well keep trying it at this point. You see the 39 overheating there, Ryan Sieg.
You know, there's an alliance with the 39 of Sieg and the 98 of Riley Herbst through the Stewart-Haas organizations. Not sure if there's some similar setup or connection there, but just make a note of that.
You got to pit when it starts blowing water out, man. You can't run so long because they'll start blowing water out, and that's fine until it stops blowing water out.
That's not fine.
No more water.
It doesn't mean the problem is gone. It means your day is probably done because there's no water left.
It doesn't fix itself. When the water temperature gauge starts coming back down, but the oil temperature is still really hot, that's bad.
It's a big race. Big race for Sieg from nearby Tucker, Georgia, less than an hour away, Regan.
And Adam, I spoke to him right before the race. He said how much this race means to him. His whole family here today, including his wife and 3 kids. Right now the team, as you can see with the water blowing out of that car, screaming at him, get some air on the radiator. He needs it as quick as he can.
Not just his 3 kids, 3 little girls. He wins no battles at home. He's got to win at the racetrack.
His only chance of winning is here.
Hey, something else to keep an eye on here. Noah Gragson made the pit stop. Went a lap down. We're going to be 12 laps to go this time around. He's hanging in there to stay the first car 1 lap down and get the free pass. We'll see if he can hang on.
He needs the Hesman's car running at 36 to just stay in front of the leader. It's going to be really close. They're running him down here about a half a second a lap.
Yeah, it's definitely a big story. It's going to affect his race big time. I don't think he's going to be able to be the lucky dog.
Yeah, Loris Hesman's in the 38 is the guy that would be in position if he gets lapped, and right now the leader's closing down on him. And the biggest thing for Gragson is that Herbst also had those problems. He's 2 laps down, so he's got a drafting partner, which will help his lap times and increase his opportunity to stay in front of the leaders.
Oh, there's another nice outside move. We were just talking about Landon Castle making big moves.
There too.
Oh,
he's trying to clear himself.
That was a big move. He filled the outside. These cars do not want somebody on the right rear quarter panel. They really slow down, and Sheldon Creed and Landon Castle are they're throwing haymakers right now at each other and everybody else.
Heads up here, the 27 is probably going to pump the 2 behind us.
Down to 10 laps to go in our second stage. Allmendinger, Hemrick, teammates at Colleague running 1-2. Jade Buford is 3rd. The teammates at Alpha Prime continue in the top 5. Tommy Joe Martins, Sage Karam. Let's get a word from the 27 team of Jeb Burton.
You got to tell the 2, do it one more time. One more time. Simple. I'm with you on that. Just stay focused right here. Still got a long way to go.
That's Jeb Burton running 11th, right behind the 2 of Sheldon Creed.
He might not need to do it one more time. He's sending a message with the old front bumper right now.
Well, Joe, you know, the sun is setting. Maybe he couldn't see.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good.
Oh, he's sending more messages. Okay.
You see, and they're just trying to force that car in front of him to make a move. That's what Sheldon Creed's trying to do. He's pushing the car in front of him and saying, do something, do something. And he's going to fill the hole as soon as that car makes a move in front of him, which is Austin Hill right now.
Morris Hezemans has gone a lap down, and so that takes the free pass opportunity away from Noah Gragson with 8 to go. He's now the 2nd car in the 1 lap down category.
Pushing 92.
Let's take a ride with JJ so we can see the sun. It's really starting to affect these guys on entry to turn 1. Come down the front stretch to the dog leg here. Now watch when they get into turn 1 here, Adam, how hard it gets to see. Now keep in mind, they're running within inches of each other. And ooh, where are you again?
That's actually what you see. That is really right on what you see off the Visor Cam as a race car driver, and that sounds tough.
Yeah, it's hard enough going 180 mile an hour, you know, a couple inches from one another, but let's make you blind for a couple of split seconds.
What kinds of things are drivers doing to combat that? Because you know, inevitably year after year, the times of these races and what role it can play.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can put tint on the windows or even on your visor, but you know, in this situation, the sun is setting perfectly to where there's not much you can do.
Get a run, Austin Hill, 2 for 1. Can he slide in line? Maybe he goes 3 for 1. Incredible run here.
Big run by himself. If he can get in front of the 44 here, which he's got him. He's got him.
Does he? No, not enough.
Man, it's so tight.
There.
But he's got some help from behind. We're now starting to see the inside line really get together here with 5 laps left in the stage. These guys are going to get hungry.
How about that 44, Jamie?
Sage Karam hanging there in the top 5. Only a few Xfinity races under his belt, 1 Truck Series. Now he's running in the top 5. You mentioned the Indy 500. He'll race that again in 2 months. But meanwhile, he's figuring this out. He just came on the radio and said, guys, I figured it out how important track position is. It is everything. Do whatever you can in the pits to keep us there, even if it means not making an adjustment. Regan.
Well, Jamie, the 68 of Brandon Brown having a very good run right now. One of the team's biggest goals this season was they had to find a way to score stage points if they felt like they were going to make the playoffs. Haven't been able to do that thus far this year, but running solidly inside the top 10 today. Mission accomplished. And on the radio, a lot of advice for Brandon about when to maybe make his move and the fact that his race car needs help. He's got a spotter that both you guys in the booth know very well, TJ Majors, helping out Brandon a lot in the radio.
Was having a great run. These guys are running really smart races, but you have to think with 3 laps left to go on the stage, it's going to get crazy here. Maybe we'll see another last corner pass for the win of the stage like we saw in the first one.
I think you're going to start seeing some 3 wide moves up there. So they start to get too wide. That middle starts to look attractive. As soon as they start opening the middle up, you're going to see cars like Sheldon Creed in the 2, the 10 of Landon Castle, the aggressive drivers right here. Trevor Bayne, there is the move right in front of Brandon Brown, trying to sneak it through the center there. That's probably going to move him forward here.
Oh,
well,
no.
Maybe not.
Sheldon Creed comes right back behind Brandon Brown, gives him a great push.
2 laps to go.
Good save for Brandon Brown.
2 remaining, 2nd stage. And you guys talk about the last lap move. It happened between teammates in stage 1 when Josh Berry got Noah Gragson, and teammates at the front once again with Allmendinger and Hemrick.
No one down the center. This is the first time we've seen the track get really, really wide to where you can run right up next to the fence. The track was dirty up there where it was only 2 lanes wide, so going down the middle worked. Now the track is 3 lanes wide, and you see the top really prevailing.
Final lap, stage 2. Can't say enough about Jade Buford, who's hanging in there. The guys from Alpha Prime. Is Brandon Brown in position to pounce?
What does Daniel Hemrick do here? Does he just follow his teammate to the stage win, or does he make a move?
I think it's game on now. If he can get a
Bring
run.
it on to the checkered here.
Stage 1 to Josh Berry. Stage 2, A.J. Allmendinger. His first stage victory of the year. Hemrick, Buford, Martins, Karam, and Creed, the other drivers that put themselves inside the top 10 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The USFL is coming starting April 16th and kicks off with a historic inaugural game as the New Jersey Generals take on the Birmingham Stallions in prime time on both Fox and NBC. Spring football, you can't beat it, and it's coming to Fox. The USFL is back. And now our Ford track facts at the end of stage 2. Who won the inaugural race here? 1992, Jeff Gordon. First win ever in NASCAR.
And it was in a Ford.
Driving for who?
Yes. Bill Davis, right?
There you go.
Hey.
Answer to the trivia question.
Like rain in here, Joey.
Last Ford win here, Brad Keselowski, spring of 2018. Brad, you've won here. Kevin Harvick won here. In 2018, you've won here. But, you know, those stats don't matter anymore. So we had to throw those out because of the new track.
New track.
Is that Jeff?
There's
No.
Jeff.
That man's kept the 90s haircut the whole time, though.
He's a true fan right there.
He's kept it since
Rainbow
92.
Warrior and the mullet. Jeff in the booth tomorrow. NASCAR on Fox. Don't miss it. With Clint Boyer, Mike Joy. Pit stops at the end of stage 2. Regan, they're heading your way.
Adam, Brandon Brown able to get those stage points that we talked about that are oh so important. His race car, very good. Doesn't want to touch it at all. Told crew chief Doug Randolph, leave it alone for this next run. And Jade Buford, how about the 3rd place for him? That team extremely pumped up on the radio. Water temp is good. They were worried about it with pushing cars, but no issues. Just a little bit too free when pushing cars. Jamie?
AJ Allmendinger in the 16 gets that stage win. Car is definitely driving better. Said he's a little draggy. A 4-tire stop here. An adjustment to the tape on the front. His teammate, the 11, Daniel Hemrick, they took that last adjustment out. They put air pressure in the right rear and 4 tires, guys.
Saw a lot of 4 tires there. Not surprising because everyone likely going to have to pit again. But if you take 4 here, it really opens up the door to play some strategy games for track position on that final stop. Sheldon Creed wins the race off pit road. Who you dialing up here? The 16, Joey?
I'm going to, Dinger Nation, Allmendinger. Let's talk to him. AJ Allmendinger, Joey Logano up at the booth. You got me?
What up, man? I got you.
Hey, the strategy worked out good. You guys gave up the first stage, cycled yourself to the front. Colleague 1-2 in the second stage. Car looked a little loose the first time. You get it fixed up yet?
This is my old age, man. Just slow reactions early on there. So the car is really good. Action Industries Camaro is good up front. You know, with this aero package and track, new repave. In traffic, it gets a little hairy, but so far so good.
Well, you sound pretty calm in there. We're pretty excited up here. I guess it's probably good to be calm. Stay that way. Have fun.
I'll be really calm watching you guys tomorrow, so, man, we'll try to put on a good show here to finish it off.
I said last week Allmendinger's always on the chip, but very subdued when you consider the kind of racing we've seen today. Fun afternoon at the racetrack for everybody here. requested reunited, and it feels so good. We didn't get it.
We didn't have the license for that one, okay, Double A?
Hey, you two fit like a glove, and we've got this all cleaned up.
We have
going to break.
shake.
It was bake and shake, but I think they did they swap sides to make it shake and bake? Evidently not.
Oh, here we go. They stopped dancing, but we do think they switched sides to shake and bake. Have a good time, girls. I got 2 young girls. I totally understand.
Let's go to the pit stops and problems for Ty Gibbs in the 54. They were all over the place here.
Well, you ever have one of those moments where you're trying to find a parking spot, Adam, and you just can't find what parking spot? Well, this is what Ty Gibbs had happen right here. Am I this stall? Oh, no, that's not me. Wait, okay.
A crew member on his hood.
Back here. Oh, no, not back here. Wait a minute. What spot am I in? Oh, watch that guy. Oh, yeah, I'm all the way up here. This is me trying to park at the Walmart parking lot last night.
He was 15th. He drops back. Justin Allgaier had problems from 12th on the cycle of pit stops. Noah Gragson took the wave around, so that gets him back on the lead lap. And we've had a choose violation on the 11 of Daniel Hemrick, who was 4th off of pit road.
Usually a choose violation means you ran over the box, the cone. And I got to think that some of this has got to be the sun setting right now. Missing your pit stall like that, not being able to see the choose. There he goes, drove right over it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joey.
about got it too.
I don't think these guys can see with the sun, and I think that was probably what happened to Ty Gibbs, and same thing with Daniel Hemrick right here on the choose.
And we understand that 92 Weatherman also had a violation on a choose. And what was going on with Ty Gibbs? What created that mess on pit road, Jamie?
100% right, gentlemen. It is the sun. The drivers were talking about it before they came onto pit road. Then we saw the mistakes by the 54, which, by the way, don't usually happen. He said, I'm sorry, I could not see. They were going to take 2 tires. They ended up just taking 4. They're restarting back in 29th now, Adam.
And Brandon Brown made an extra pit stop here. We got a whole lot going on. As we reset, though, at the front, Sheldon Creed, A.J. Allmendinger. And we should point out that Sheldon Creed wins the race off pit road by taking 2 tires. So he's at a bit of a deficit, if there is such a thing, given the amount of tire wear we've seen today.
I'm not sure it matters. I like that call. Get yourself up there. You're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. There's 76 laps to go. You gotta get yourself that track position. We saw how important it was, right? Those cars that cycle themselves to the front. You know, Sage Karam, there was Brandon Brown, there's a bunch of them that cycled themselves to the front at the beginning of the second stage and stayed up there the whole time. Why not take a chance like Creed's doing right now to get yourself up there?
And the pit stop, to clarify for Brandon Brown, not an issue with the car. They, too, had a choose violation, so they decided to come ahead and make their pit stop. Circle that one, because if they topped off there, as tight as this could be on fuel, everybody has to make a stop here. Maybe he doesn't. It's tight, but that's something to monitor as we go into the final stage. Going to be 75 to go. Creed and Allmendinger get us going for this last stint at Atlanta.
Ooh, big checkup on the restart here. You saw them all jamming up through the field. Can't see, Joey. They can't see.
Teammates working together. Austin Hill pushing Sheldon Creed, and Brandon Jones back in the mix. Haven't said his name in a while. Trevor Bayne is there in that outside lane.
7 coming to you, halfback. Be 3 wide middle per sec.
And you can see the sun here. Watch the sun on his shield.
Go middle here with a 9.
You just can't see much.
Still 3 wide middle.
And it's as bad, if not worse, in the car than what the TV shows it with their cameras.
Well, we talked about, too, this track kind of, I don't want to say coming apart, but when it's new, it's a loose aggregate out there. And that'll pit your windshield. So now you have a pitted windshield with the sun on top of that. Makes it very difficult to see. You see a couple RCR cars working together.
We still have an hour till the sun goes down, Joe. So this is only going to get worse for these guys.
Great onboard shot here with Austin Hill. That's the Bennett Transportation and Logistics on board, a local company. Austin Hill went to their headquarters this week, not far from the racetrack, and he's doing them proud, running second at his home track.
Change push of 19 back to you, half lane up. 2 back to the bottom lane, 1639.
AJ just needs a little more help there on the bottom to get up to the front here, Joseph.
Yeah, you only got those 3 cars. We talked about it earlier. You got to have 3 or 4 really good cars that can stay tight, that have speed but also handle really well. If you don't have the right cars down there, the bottom lane will fall apart, and it kind of looks like that's what we see right now.
Yep.
A couple of things to look at in that top 10. Jade Buford, after getting his career best finish ever in a stage, is continuing in the top 10. And Ryan Sieg pushing A.J. Allmendinger. I was concerned about the overheating and all that water coming out of the overflow. Appears to have got itself worked out. Running tight in the draft there behind A.J. Allmendinger, and no issues with 71 to go.
My man Doug Yates built some tough engines. They'll run without any water in them. So
I told you we could run them hot.
Hey, our last 2 winners have had some problems today. The 9 of Noah Gragson, 54 of Ty Gibbs. But they are rallying. Gibbs is back in the top 15. So is Gragson after taking the wave around. He's on much older tires. I think it's safe to say that is absolutely not a factor.
Yeah, I don't think it's a factor at all. But if he waved around, fuel is a factor.
Yeah, but you know what? As long as the caution doesn't come out at the wrong time, if everybody has to pit and get a splash, he might have to stay a little longer, but this could cycle for him. Perfect world, we get the caution, right, and everybody pits together.
I like the gamble. I mean, that's your chance to get him back on the lead lap. He had quite a bit more fuel in the car to where he doesn't have to pit in the next 10 laps. Maybe there'd be a caution there.
Good 3-wide battle here.
51, Jeremy Clements, Sage Karam in the 44, Jeb Burton in the 27, shooting up the middle.
Wow. Shooting the gap right down the center.
Cover here, still middle.
Clearing himself into the
Excuse
top
me,
lane.
can I get in here? Yes, sir. Thank you.
I mean, we talk about how hard it is to gain track position. We've been talking about it all day, but it is definitely the case.
AJ just keeps trying to make that bottom work. And it seems like you can maybe do the island hopping, Joey, you know, if you're 10th, 15th in line, but the top 5, it's really hard to make it work.
Well, right now, the bottom looks attractive. Look at the cars that are down there, all great cars. The 31, the 54, the 9, the 98, the 11. Even though some of them may be on different strategies, those are good cars to jump down in front of, and there's numbers. There's lots of them as well.
Hey, and Myatt Snyder, driving for Jordan Anderson. The owner ran the Camping World Truck Series race earlier today. Didn't go good for him, but as an organization, they are looking for their first top 10 of the year. Remember, he ended Daytona on his lid. This is a similar style of racing, and he looks good running 6th right now in front of Ty Gibbs.
Yes, he does. Back in the saddle, and he's giving it all he's got.
I do look at that 31 of Maya Snyder. It looks a little loose. That car looks like she's moving around a little bit.
Well, it does have some damage on the right front. You can see the bare bond covering part of the tax layer. It's got Trevor Bayne to jump down in front of him.
I like that move. I like the bottom right now. It's looking really strong. Trevor Bayne's going to go all the way to race for the lead here.
You know, we've not talked a lot about Trevor today. 3rd start of the year. Originally wasn't supposed to do this race. Gets another opportunity. One of his 8 starts this season. And the 18 looking to take the top spot, top 5 in both starts this year. Those coming at California and Phoenix. Hadn't been in one of these cars in 5 or 6 years, and he is impressed every time.
He's got to do it. Makes the pass for the lead on the bottom.
I like that. And like we said, you got to have the right cars. It's all about who the cars are that line up with you. And the bottom, I wouldn't say they're done yet. They're going to keep pushing forward here.
I hate to ask this, but tires a factor at all? Because Creed had 2 and all these other guys running around him did take 4 tires. Can that get, not at all? Okay.
I don't think so.
I'm just reading your
Joey
body
says
language.
no. I'm not quite ready to write that off. I think there might be a little
look
bit
at the
there.
9. Maybe he wants some tires. He looked loose going into the corner there.
It's been a while for him.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, just a little loose. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's one. I ain't still with.
Yeah,
I think we know.
Yeah, look, a lot of loose.
21 car here, Austin Hill. We have not talked much about him today. Daytona winner, similar style of racing to this. He's in a good position here.
Let's look at the 9 again. Look at him go down into turn 3. He has a decent run, pretty big wiggle. He needs to thank his buddy Riley Herbst there for not sticking him 3 wide in the center there. Had definitely an opportunity to do that.
Riley Herbst is a lap down. Those two, by the way, they went to high school together. Riley Herbst and Noah Gragson. And here's another new leader. Put the 31 of Myatt Snyder on point in the outside lane, drafting assistance from Sheldon Creed.
I tell you, business has picked up. It seemed like the first 2 stages, everyone was happy with just clicking off laps, getting to the stages, just make some laps, make sure we get to the end. Now everyone realizes how important track position is, and we have to race to get there.
I'm not sure what messages are being delivered, but there's 61 laps to go. And as you said, business is in fact picking up. 18 back to the point in the low lane.
Just so you know, we're close on fuel too, so anything we can do to pedal at times and help save will be good.
Brandon Jones, crew chief and spotter, telling him to take care of this girl a little bit here.
Yeah,
Gas is going to be an issue at the end of this race if it stays green.
If you're tucked in the draft like that, it helps on fuel mileage, right?
Absolutely, definitely does. You know those guys running, 3rd row and further back are not wide open all the way around. The top 2 or 3 cars are wide open all the way around. That's a big fuel mileage difference when you start to add that up over the course of 70 laps.
These guys are lifting a lot. You could hear it in Austin Hill's car right there on the onboard.
Trevor Bayne is leading. He's the youngest winner ever in the Daytona 500. Happened in 2011. And he's led in every race he's competed in so far this year in the Xfinity Series. I mean, the 54-9 too. I mean, fourth caution of the day is out at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the first for incident. It happened on the back straightaway. Among those involved, Jade Buford, who was having an unbelievable day in the 51 of Jeremy Clements. This is coming off of turn 2.
Oh, it looks like Jeb's going to try to get in the middle of 3 wide here, maybe. Didn't quite get the room where he thought he had. 48's going to spin around. Nowhere for Jeremy Clements to go. Nice job for the rest of the field avoiding this.
I really thought if we had a crash today, it would turn into a big one because everyone is so bunched up. But as you said, Brad, really nice effort by all these drivers to avoid making this a huge incident that took out a bunch of cars.
Yeah, the backstretch is fairly wide here, so if there's an accident, you seem to be able to get around it here. And the Xfinity drivers here have done a great job all day of not just avoiding wrecks, but you know, not starting them to begin with. Ooh, you see Jade's track bars broke in the back. That's probably going to put him out for the day.
You hear the sound of it.
AMR safety crew is there.
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Oh, we have a hauler that tried to go through the tunnel.
The little tunnel.
Oh, that gets somebody every year here at Atlanta. That's another
the
caution.
Backside tunnel. You can't do that.
That's not a composite body right there. You know what I mean? That one's not going to pop
Parts
out.
of it was. It's definitely not anymore.
Hey, really quickly, this is an enormous caution for a couple of guys. One, Noah Gragson, who had taken the wave around, now can make his pit stop, stay on the lead lap. Riley Herbst had waved to one lap down. He gets the free pass. He too can pit here, and both those guys are in their window. And pit road is open. Do you pit here, or do these caution laps get you good on the fuel mileage? And we're getting the answer. A number of guys will.
We got a split decision here. Split decision.
Pit stop.
It's going to get crazy on pit road. Just these quick gas and goes. There's going to be some contact possibly on pit road. Regan?
Myatt Snyder, a lot of debate over if they would pit. They ultimately decided to. Fuel only, as you said. Car just a little unstable right now in the 39 of Ryan Sieg. Fuel only for them just to make it to the end. Jamie?
And Noah Gragson, they needed to come in and pit little loose, actually a lot loose. They said they're going to go down 2 rounds on the track bar. Fuel to make it to the end, and 4 tires for the 9.
More pitted here than not, but all of the cars from Joe Gibbs Racing staying on track, including Ty Gibbs, who has worked his way back to the top 5.
We're going to be worse. We might be a lap and a half to the bad. These caution laps right here should get us to the end, even if we're leading. We're just not good for green, white checkers.
Yeah, 10-4.
So just maximum saving under every caution from here to the end.
Chris Gale, who does an unbelievable job at not only managing the strategy, but working with this young driver. The combination won 5 times last year, and the coach is hoping they can get their 2nd win of 2022. We are back in Atlanta, March 19th. Here's what happened on this date, 1911. First International Women's Day. 1964, Sean Connery's first day filming Goldfinger. Love that car. In 1977, it was the final episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. And did you know that March 19th is National Chocolate Caramel Day? For me, I like a little crunch with my chocolate. No offense to the caramel. I just like a little crunch.
As long as there's chocolate.
Yeah, right. I never go against the chocolate. We got about 50 laps to go. We got some really good cars that are going to start in the back. We got some really good cars at the front that are questionable on fuel mileage. What do we expect here for the stretch run?
Well, if you're the leaders right now, if you're running up front, you just maybe one more yellow, and I would feel a lot better. But please, not at the end, Joe. I do not want a green-white checker. They are really, really on edge right now.
Absolutely. They run too long, they're going to be in trouble. But I think they're going to get more cautions. At this point of the game, we saw the racing get a lot more intense out there with a 2 wide, more 3 wide. The 3 wide is where it gets pretty sketchy out here. This track's not very wide in the corners in particular. So it gets to where it gets tight, just like we saw with Jay Buford a minute ago. Gets tagged in the left rear, and around he goes.
By the way, Jay Buford spent more laps in the top 10 today than he had any race in his career. Disappointing for them, but going to a road course next week where we anticipate they should be really good. The fans have been great here today. We know they'll be good next Saturday at COTA, and I think we finally got this mystery solved. She said no.
Oh, sisters.
Oh, they're fighting.
But if you notice, Shake says you belong on the other side, right? I mean, we're getting there.
They just need some chocolate.
What about the 18, Jamie Little?
Well, Ty Gibbs last pitted at the stage break. That's when he had the miscue. So what is his fuel situation?
And even if you want to say 54 momentum, 31 momentum, I can judge that. It was just like, and it was good to know that they were getting close. All that was great. I think things happen a little quicker here at Daytona, so if I just know our momentum late in the race.
You know, it's Trevor Bayne talking to his spotter. And, you know, Trevor hasn't been in the seat a lot lately, right? So he's back in it, and that means you also have to not only learn the cars and the track, you also have to learn your team and your spotter. And trying to build that chemistry with your spotter sometimes takes a few races. So that's Trevor telling his spotter, hey, here's what I need here to be able to control the race. But get out front, get myself clear, and control what lane is coming.
He's done a heck of a job so far. 3 races in, sat on the pole. Last week at Phoenix, had a great race. Good laps in all of them. Leading here again today, getting towards the end. He's got a good shot at this one.
Top 8 cars roughly, and some of this may change the numbers because of how they went through the choose, but top 8 stayed out, didn't pit here. Everybody behind them did come down pit road. 51 laps to go for the Xfinity Series at Atlanta.
Got a nice Gibbs versus Childress showdown here on the front rows. Teammates working together, both sides.
Yeah, 3 Gibbs cars up top. Bumper to bumper to bumper.
Big day for Brandon Jones, coming off a runner-up finish in the 19. This is his home track. Grew up right here in the Atlanta area. And behind him, give a call, Joe Graff Jr. Great strategy play for them to stay out. He's in the top 10, but loses into the wall.
No.
And he takes Daniel Hemrick with him. That is the announcer curse right there. I apologize. Man, he looked good.
And this is the yellow. Trevor Bayne, Ty Gibbs, all these guys who stayed out were really wanting. This is a few more laps where they're not at full pace, not burning all that fuel. This might help them connect this race.
It might be enough to help them get that green-white checker, right, if that happens. That's that insurance policy. You don't know we're going to have an overtime finish, but there's a pretty good chance, and this is going to help that for them. Bad luck for some. It's going to be good luck for others.
So 11 car gets in the middle here, 3 wide. Let's take a look at it here. And I think he must feel like he's clear. He gets a little loose, comes up the track. Joe Graff maybe come down a little bit. Kind of looks like one of them racing deals to me, Joseph.
Yeah, look like racing to me, Bradley.
I hate that for Joe Graff because, you know, he's driving for Bobby Dotter, and that's an organization that got their first win ever earlier this year with Cole Custer driving in Fontana, California.
Man, it happened so quick. It's so hard to say what happened there, right? You can say the 11 came up. You can equally say Joe Graff Jr. came down. It almost happened at the same time, and it happens that quick, guys. That's what the drivers are dealing with here at Atlanta. The cars are going so fast around here, and you're right on top of each other. And all it takes is one little movement of your car, one way or the other. You see that Henrik may got a little loose there. I don't know, man. But it happens so fast, and next thing you know, you're out of the race.
I know it was a hard hit. That's for sure. Whenever you get hit in the right rear quarter panel, there's that little whip action. He has a second hit here that sure didn't feel very good. But poor Daniel, he should have won this race probably last year, and running up front here towards the end. Atlanta just hasn't been kind to him here lately.
The defending champ still looking for his first win of the season, and you see all these pictures. Amazing shots from our camera folks all around this racetrack, and a call to them because it's been a long day. We had vehicles on track mid-morning here in Atlanta, a double header. Out in the sunshine, it's been windy. They battled the elements the last few weeks on the West Coast, traveling back and forth. We salute each and every one of those behind the scenes that make Fox NASCAR a possibility every weekend. A long day today, 500 miles tomorrow. We thank you all and salute you for your unbelievable work and effort.
Absolutely. A lot more on-track time today than expected. It rained out yesterday, so everything got canceled and moved to today.
Trevor Bayne, the leader, 49, now 48 laps remaining.
So we'll all go to the bottom and make them have to work, have Brandon or whoever the third car is block that top run, and we'll all come back up with him. Brandon's got to be our blocker here if we're all going to stay up front. He's got to work it, and me and Ty will go wherever he goes to block the run.
Right, so this is good info that we keep hearing from Trevor over and over again. And he's talking about Brandon Brown as the third car of their JGR trio. And he's saying, listen, Brandon, you go where you need to go to make sure the runs don't come our way, and we'll just make sure we stay in front of you the whole time. That is good info, and it's almost like the 19's leading them.
Saw the hauler driving away that had his own accident here in the tunnel in Atlanta. Oof, that one is expensive.
Yeah,
I know it was
how
a
do you
team
explain
owner.
that one to your boss?
I was going to say, I don't want to make that phone call.
You see what had
First
happened
off,
was.
I'm okay.
The vehicle, not so much.
Hey, next Sunday on FS1, Christian Pulisic and the U.S. men's national team take on Panama as the Stars and Stripes look to move one step closer to the World Cup next Sunday on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Coverage begins 6:30 Eastern Time. And with 48 laps to go, our Xfinity fastest lap. Ty Gibbs, top of the boards, had some adversities today, but he's going to be a player late. Sheldon Creed led more laps today than he had combined in his career coming in. Good effort for Landon Castle. Barry and Burton also made the reel. Under caution for the 5th time today. We'll do the choose when we return to Atlanta. Bayne, Gibbs, Hill, Jones, and Creed, your top 5. The ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, home to the world champion Braves. A lot of Bulldog fans here. Georgia won the national championship in college football. And the Atlanta Motor Speedway completely reconfigured and repaved. And it's been greeted with tremendous success. We're in the midst of part 2 of our NASCAR doubleheader, the NASCAR Xfinity Series following the trucks who raced earlier today on FS1. It's been an eventful afternoon. Ty Gibbs, a little warm.
Didn't seem to be a problem. They fixed it up. He's looking good right now.
Opening stage, a battle to the finish between JRM teammates. Give it to Josh Berry. Gregson not only lost the stage win, got in the wall.
Ooh, that was a tough one right there. This one really set him back in the race. He's finally recovered, back on the lead lap, new tires, ready to race. And then the 98 car, Riley Herbst, overheating issues. We've seen this a lot today, Adam.
He went 2 laps down, got both of those back. He'll have a chance. A.J. Allmendinger wins stage 2. He won this race a couple of years ago. And a couple of cautions here in the final stage for crashes. One of them involving Jeremy Clements, Anthony Alfredo, and the 48 of Jade Buford. And we're under yellow right now for this incident. The 07 is Joe Graff Jr. The 11, our reigning champ Daniel Hemrick. We've got activity on track. We've got activity off track. Ooh. There are certain tunnels that do not welcome the 18-wheelers.
You know what's horrible about this whole thing? It's a mistake. I get it. We all make dumb mistakes. I've done plenty myself. But the fact that we got to keep bringing it up on national television.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
You know, tomorrow we'll have race day on FS1.
Go talk about it then, too.
Clint Boyer is going to say to Chris Myers, put it out.
Oh, yeah.
We did have somebody go through the infield here. We actually are not sure how that happened. That was after the caution. So you see a splitter that was laying in the infield.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Oh, extended yellow.
When I first saw it, I thought it was debris off the truck. Then I realized where it was. I'm like,
look at the shake and bake girls. Now they went from Talladega Nights to Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt.
Twins or no? I would say twins.
I think so.
No, definitely a height difference.
I don't know, man.
You got 2 girls.
I'm saying,
yes, you would know.
One of the worst things you can do is tell 2 girls they're twins. So,
Jamie, I think you and Regan should wear shake and bake T-shirts next week on pit road. What do you think?
Now you're getting a little crazy, Adam. A little crazy. I'll tell you, there's one driver in this field that's not a lot older than those girls. Ty Gibbs.
Quite elite.
Line of the day. Line of the day.
Talk about a day he has had. Got shuffled all the way back after, pit road issue. Then he's all the way back up to second. Papa coach Joe Gibbs just came off the pit box, and they told his driver, remember what we said, you are never out of an Xfinity race. We have a chance today. Don't give up yet.
Hey, that takes me to, since we have a little time here talking about young drivers, the last 10 races in the Cup Series, Dayton to Talladega in the fall when Bubba Wallace got his first career victory. Last 10 races at the Cup level, won by a driver in their 20s. As a couple of guys that have already hit 30 and beyond.
What are you trying to say?
What do you two have to say about? Well,
come on. I got a sticker in the car that says that. Come on.
I won the duels. I mean, that was something,
that
right?
should count something too. Hey, you guys are altering this
so
to make it sound better.
So defensive.
Come on now.
Yeah.
One for the old guys.
Well, it sounds like we might have a shot of what happened. It was under yellow, and there was a spin after the wreck.
Is that?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that was a la Josh Berry last year, right? About the same spot.
Yeah.
Dug up some turf. Couldn't tell who that was. Maybe Anthony Alfredo. Couldn't tell who that white car might have been.
I tell you, they put the turf in at Charlotte, and same people own this racetrack. It'd be great if we can get some turf on this one too.
Yeah,
especially after the repave.
That would make a big difference.
Just trying to do that.
That was almost as subtle as Blaney requesting pizza a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas.
It's very obvious of what it would be.
Well, it's still laying down there, as you can tell.
There they go.
Parts and pieces.
Well, I just saw the truck pull down, and I think they're going to get it now. AMR safety team is on it. You mentioned Josh Berry. Regan talked about this off the top. That was incredible.
That's last year.
Yeah.
He pulled a heck of a wheel stand.
Impressive, really.
I bet that scared the crap out of him.
Yes.
Front tires come that far off the ground out of nowhere.
Well, as someone who's been down the front stretch here in Atlanta with the wheels off the ground, I can tell you, it's not a good feeling.
but you're right.
Barry running 16th today. Listen to some of these drivers just in front of him in the running order. Stephen Parsons, 15th, driving the 99 for B.J. McLeod. Tommy Joe Martins is up there, and the shake and bake thing just will not go away.
Graphics department here is having a little fun. Good on you guys.
Do you think Ty Gibbs watches the races back?
I bet he does.
You get a text later, maybe.
Ty, I'm sorry. You know. Hey, we were the young kids at one time. We got made fun of too. It's just part of the way the world works.
Jamie, let's hear from the elder Gibbs, the coach.
Yeah, I'll apologize to Ty later for that comment. But his grandpa, Coach Joe Gibbs, watching on. What a rebound. He never gave up after that stumble on pit road. What's it like for you, Coach, watching your grandson in these races?
It's nervous. That's what it's like. God's blessed us with so much. I'm worried now, can he stay up there? Is he going to go back? I think it's been a big comeback here, but I don't think any of us know what's going on. I think the track has been great. I think it's been a great race. I think the truck race was a great race. So I'm excited about what we're doing. It's great to be here in Atlanta, and I'm thrilled to be a part of this. And I know it's nervous time for me.
Well, yes, 3 cars right now, Adam, in the top 4.
And he touched on it. I mean, not only his guys doing a good job today, but just across the board, what we're seeing in NASCAR. And I said this when we began the broadcast today. We've had 11 races this year in the top 3 series, 11 different winners. And that doesn't include the Clash when Joey Logano won. That's 12 for 12. It's been good stuff, and we expect a good finish here today.
Somebody already pulled their tinted tear off. I hate to inform them that as soon as that sun gets out of those clouds, that's going to be a really bad decision.
Yeah, because it's lower now.
Yeah, now it's straight in my eyes versus before it was up a little bit. Now it's like straight on at you coming into one.
The clouds rolled in, and it was like, maybe we're good. The answer is we're not. The clouds have gone. The sun's in their eyes again.
When he talked about tinted tear-offs, that's on the helmet. We have tear-offs that are tinted. It's like a tinted, like you would put on your windows or whatever. And you can peel that off when the sun goes down. You see some of the drivers.
It's like taking your sunglasses off. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do that a little too soon, you may regret that.
Yeah, you only get one shot at that.
Yeah, it's gone. Once it's off, it's gone.
Word of warning, Cup race tomorrow scheduled to end, right around now. So maybe it could be 6:30 Eastern time, but right in this window. So be prepared.
We used to qualify around this time. Remember that, Brad?
Oh, yes. Very difficult.
Right now, and you couldn't see going down the turn 1. You're going 2-0, no. And
hey, the Gibbs cars take the high lane. They're going to line up together here up top. Down low, teammates at Stewart Haas Racing, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed. How about the 2 guys in the front row, both Daytona winners, Hill and Truck and Xfinity, driving the 21 this year in Xfinity. Outside, Trevor Bayne won in the 21, driving for the Wood Brothers in the 500. Here we go.
He got a nice run. You saw Austin Hill in the restart zone with our Fox onboard camera. It was dragging back a little bit so he could get a run at this. Good push from Sheldon Creed. He's got a great shot here at clearing for the lead.
Just you 2 groups, and they're separated. Still locked on to you here. Both groups still locked on.
That's a long push for both of them. And you see the outside lane came apart. At the same time, the bottom lane came apart.
Yeah, nobody wants to push on entry to 3. It's just such a tough corner to get through. And if you have another car pushing in that same spot, it's really easy to get out of control.
A big run coming up top. It's going to push probably 2 of them clear. Maybe even the third Gibbs car in the 19, Brandon Jones.
If you're Gibbs, this is exactly what you want to see. You got your cars in the top 3 spots. Pretty easy to block runs when they got to pass 3 of them. Now they're going to drag the field down to the bottom.
Well, this is what we talked about. They said, Brandon Jones, you block the lanes, we'll move with you. So right now you're going to see the 19 block the lanes behind them. You're going to see the 2 other Gibbs cars, Trevor Bayne, Ty Gibbs, go along with that. So the 19's kind of leading them in a way right now.
Hey, look who's behind him. Brandon Brown has stayed in this thing all day long in the 68. And remember, he had the choose violation. The 19 had a speeding penalty. So a couple of guys in the top 5 that have dealt with issues today. Don't forget about the 54 as well. Second place, had all those problems on pit road when the sun got in his eyes. Really good effort for all these guys to rally.
Yeah, and Brandon Brown, won at Talladega. He's a good Speedway racer. This is very much like a speedway, and probably as the sun goes down right now and it's cooling off a little bit, it's getting more and more like a super speedway, less handling coming into play as the track cools off.
But hey, when he won at Talladega, it was in the fall. So the playoffs were already underway. It didn't qualify him for a chance to run for the championship. You win here today, you got a bid to the postseason, and now all of a sudden things change big time.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him. So he's got 3 Gibbs cars in front of him. He's got 2 Colleague cars. We know how strong they are on speedways right behind him. Good luck.
He's definitely got the track position, Joey. So he's got some things going for him. He's got a great spotter. That team works really hard on these types of races, and it's paying off.
Look at this, Junior Motorsports getting together. Noah Gragson back in it after going a lap down when he had that unscheduled pit stop. Josh Berry is there. They were getting a push from Justin Allgaier. Now they jump up in the outside lane.
And they're all going to work together. Those are 3 cars that you need together to make it all work and keep going towards the front. And you see that they're probably going to leave the 9 hanging. Oh,
they left them hanging.
That one coming.
I didn't see that one either, Joey. They need each other.
We'll keep it side by side as we step away. 35 laps to go next time around. Trevor Bayne leading the race at Atlanta. Under caution for the 6th time today here at Atlanta, and the reason for the yellow flag, the one of Sam Mayer, he had a tire issue that put him a lap down, and I saw the caution come out. I'm like, wow, he's going to get the lap back, and then I realized he was the reason for the caution, so there will be no free pass. This is the best angle we have of him sliding through the grass, heading forward.
To get loose right there, that means you had a flat tire.
Yep.
Yeah, car shouldn't be spinning out right there. Something definitely went wrong when you see him rolling in without a left rear tire on the car.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Spun out down the straightaway.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's hanging on here.
Nice use of the NASCAR Hawkeye cameras.
You know, he had a good start to the year and led all those laps at California, top 5 in both stages out there, and felt good about what was happening, and make that Las Vegas, and then, you know, last couple of weeks not going as he would have hoped. He got multiple speeding penalties to take him out of contention last Saturday at Phoenix, but a youngster with a ton of speed, and he's shown it on a regular basis driving that one car for Junior Motorsports.
Yeah, it's strange that that's his 2nd flat tire, left rear. It tells you something's wrong back there. It's rubbing on something, or something's happening over there. Here's it. Well,
there's
here
both
they are.
of them.
There's both of them.
Why not put them right next to each other? That, you know, it's just how racing is sometimes. Sometimes you just have those days, right? As a driver, you're sitting there like, gosh, can anything go my way? I keep blowing out tires. This, you know, something happens all the time. And then there's other days where everything just goes right.
bouncing back through the top 10. Saw the Gibbs guys in the top 3. Brandon Brown having a great day. A pair of teammates from Colleague, 5th and 6th. Allmendinger and Castle. Austin Hill, home racetrack, enjoying his afternoon. It's a home game for Ryan Sieg as well, who's currently 8th. Can't say enough about the effort for Brandon Brown, Regan.
Well, it's certainly a very good day for him, Adam. And interesting decision coming up here in just a moment. That last restart, their plan was to stick with the Joe Gibbs cars the entire time, running 4th position. But now you see as things shake up, they're running 1 through 4 right now. Does he take and go to the bottom, or does he stick with the Gibbs cars, who are likely all going to pick the same lane? Again, can't wait to see what they've figured out on that car.
And I don't know how much manufacture comes into play, but if the Gibbs cars once again all 3 take the top lane, and Brandon Brown takes the front row down low, he likely would have some Chevy support with him in the form of Allmendinger and Castle and Austin Hill.
You bring up a good point. Yeah, a really good point there, coming to the choose for the Gibbs cars. Do you just line up all in a row? When we go to super speedways, we don't get to choose. The only lane that gets to choose is the leader, whether he wants the top or the bottom. This is the first super speedway type race that we've ever been to where we have to choose. And here, the Gibbs cars have to say, okay, do we want to line each other up 1, 2, 3 in one lane? Or maybe move one of them to the lead and defend it to where either way one of your cars are going to be in the lead.
Yeah, Joe, you're right. It's a unique situation here. And you have to wonder what Brandon Jones is going to do. He's got a great opportunity to probably get to the front row. And who knows, maybe he'll get a great push that will carry him to the lead. So big question mark. But last few restarts we've seen the RCR cars on the bottom. And just, I don't know if it's their cars or if that lane, but it just has not worked for them. So big choose coming in the sun. So we'll see what they do.
All 3 Gibbs cars go up high. Brandon Brown goes with him. Allmendinger to the front row.
Yeah, if I was Brown, I definitely would have taken the front row on that. That felt like a gift to take the front row. Now, interesting.
And basically teammates going to the bottom, not just Allmendinger and Landon Castle from Colleague, but there's an alliance with RCR Sheldon Creed down there as well.
I'm leaning towards protecting the high side, man. I know it's either, that front row looks inviting, man, but then 2 teammates start up here at the bottom and fell back. I think I'm going to agree with you to stay up top.
There you go.
Your spotter, Bradley.
Joey, I'm gonna agree with him. I just feel like it's good practice to agree with your spotter. But besides that, nobody has stopped these Gibbs cars yet. I mean, the Gibbs cars, the last 2 or 3 restarts, have just drove away and left the bottom lane in the dust. Now, that said, the Colleague cars are pretty strong. We'll have to see how it plays out.
I'd say at this point, the cream's risen to the top. You got the best cars all up front right now.
It's going to be
the
30.
cars that have been the strongest all day long are up front.
Sorry about that, Joey. Going to be 30 laps to go here.
All right, pace cars down. Green flag.
Ooh, the pushes are getting more aggressive, Joey.
Well, still hooked up behind you, still inside.
And the bottom came disconnected pretty early off of turn 2, with the top still pushing. He's going to clear 2 of them. AJ's going to try to, couldn't get there enough.
That's gutsy, huh? Trying to slide into line, AJ Allmendinger.
Oh, he gets up in front of Brandon Brown. Oh, no, he doesn't. And look at Brandon Brown and TJ Majors.
Boy.
Joseph, what do you think about that?
Well, I guess he was right.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. But no, it's just no one has stopped these Gibbs cars on the top lane. They've been able to tandem with 3 cars and drive off into the sunset.
And the door's still open. If the Colleague guys rally down low, we can slide down in front of them and get the push, right?
I mean, absolutely. And you have to think those Colleague cars are not giving up.
Yeah, I still think you have a strong bottom lane there that can possibly get going. And now you got the 9 that's just getting cleared behind them. So that might close up to the Colleague cars. You got the 21, Austin Hill, that just came down in front of them.
He did what I thought Brown was going to do. He was pushing Brown. Now he drops down in front of the 16-21 rallying at the red and white line.
But remember AJ saying earlier in the race his car was better on the top than on the bottom.
Look out. Bain sliding down in front of Austin Hill.
And what do you see in that bottom lane? All Chevys. All of them working together right here.
Oh, Sheldon Creed right up against the wall. Wow.
We've seen Sheldon Creed not scared to sneak one up across on the top side.
And boy, he was not scared there. Oh, he's right there.
Look at Kyle Weatherman, 92, driving for Mario Goslin, working on a spot in the top 10.
That bottom lane with Austin Hill has not given up. They are fighting hard for this lead up here.
And trying to take it here. Drafting help from A.J. Allmendinger.
Half off. Both your helps half off. Help is tighter up top. Help is tighter. Help still tighter up top. Your help's 1.5 off. Still outside door. 1 lane between. Down, down, down. Half off help. Up, up, up. Up, up.
Oh,
and there goes one, sideways.
Save it.
Brandon Brown, can he hang on to it? Caution is out.
Tremendous job, not one, overcorrecting the car and coming back up the racetrack, and two, getting it out of the way to where he didn't get hit again. You see some damage there on the left front, though.
Spotted.
Not going to help him here. We're hearing it may have had something to do with the 2. Oh, he's got some damage as
big
well.
Damage. We'll see this replay for sure. The 2 had been filling the middle and the top lanes here. I wonder if something happened where there just wasn't enough room to make the move.
He was looking to go down the center.
Oh, yep.
Oh, not much room there. And the 2 got his damage from the 92, trying to avoid the crash.
You know, if the 68, if Brandon Brown doesn't get that damage on the left front, I mean, he almost gets completely through this unscathed. Incredible save
just
right
barely got Josh Berry right in the right side door to see how much damage Josh has. But you're right. This is, you know, when I first started racing in NASCAR, I'll never forget Wayne Alton, the series director, telling me, if you ever get in trouble at Daytona or Talladega, turn the wheel to the left, drive it to the infield, but don't turn it right and hit the wall. And Brandon's got a little bit of wheel to the right, but earlier here, he had it to the left and was able to get down to the apron and just ride it out here a little bit. Live to fight another day. So nice job to him.
You know, the thing that surprised me today is the incidents we've had and the room that has been here for the drivers. One of my big concerns coming here with this package and the tight racing, the drafting, is when you have a crash, there will be nowhere to escape. We have seen drivers avoid big accidents today in both races more than I anticipated would be able to.
Yeah, they're able to avoid the crashes, but a lot of the crashes are starting because the track's narrow, right? Because you can barely get through. Jamie, you got info on the 2?
Yeah, Sheldon Creed's team just came on the radio and told him about that right rear quarter panel damage. They said, you've got a little parachute behind you now, but at this point, we can't pit. We must stay out and take our chances.
Justin Allgaier making a pit stop. Keep in mind, 16 consecutive top 10s for Allgaier, trying to keep it going today. You know, we go through the first, this is the opposite of last week at Phoenix. We go through the first 106 laps, no cautions for incident. We had the competition caution at lap 20, the 2 cautions to end the stages. And now we've had 4 in this final stage. Last week, a couple of cautions for spins in the first 2 stages. We went caution-free in the final stage at Phoenix. 7 cautions overall today in this 250-mile race for the Xfinity cars. Double it up. We're going 500 miles tomorrow on Fox. The NASCAR Cup Series racing for the 5th time this year, looking for our 5th different winner. Who's excited to race at Atlanta? Left of your screen,
Joey Logano.
Joey Logano.
I'm the only one excited in this picture. Everyone else looks mad. Brad, where are you?
I'm with Ryan Blaney. We're just hanging out, being cool by ourselves.
Coverage tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Race day on FS1 at 1:30.
You know, one of the things that got lost in all this, guys, real quick, Austin Hill is the race leader. And Austin, was on the bottom lane, and he has broke apart these Toyotas. You look at Trevor Bayne, second, Ty Gibbs, fourth, Brandon Jones, sixth. They were 1, 2, 3 before, so it'll be interesting to see how this works out, if these guys pick the top lane now or the bottom, or what's going to happen here.
Let's listen in on Trevor Bayne's audio.
I think if I get the lead back, there's no way I'm giving up the bottom again in 3 and 4 at any point if there's anybody too wide. They just make so it's different than Daytona because the run is like 3 car lengths over there.
I go back, though, to the importance of being in control. A little bit off of what Trevor said, what you said as well, Brad. You go back to that competition caution. There's really nothing on the line there. No stage points, none of that stuff. But Gragson races hard because you absolutely want to be in control. This is a huge spot for Austin Hill here.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
Yeah, and you hear Trevor there a little bit and saying, hey, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to, give the outside up or the inside up. I guess he's giving the inside up. He doesn't want to give the outside up in that conversation. And that's all well and good to kind of have some rules for yourself that I'm not doing that. But you can't really get too hung up on that, right? You have to, because the race is going to change. When we talk about the drivers evolving as they learn more and more about the draft and more of what their cars can and can't do, and as the sun goes down, the track's gaining grip. Yep. All these things are coming up. So, you say you wouldn't do that maybe in that moment again, but you also want to be kind of open-minded while you're out there as well.
Well, Joseph, it's a little bit like parenting. I'd never do this, I'd never do that to my kids. Then you get out there and you have to change. You have to adapt, yeah. And you realize why people do things. And I think that's what I heard out of Trevor is you see this choose here, really big choose. We think this might be the last deal. I guess we don't know.
Yeah.
But we do know everybody can make it on fuel now, or should be able to make it on fuel from here.
I was going to ask you about that because Austin Hill, you could hear it in our onboard camera, shutting the car off and turning it back on. They last pitted at the end of stage 2. All the cautions, I've got to believe they're good to go, but that's just a safety valve, right? Make sure you're in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of insurance. Just buying a little car insurance here. This is race car insurance for this race, but, shutting off is never a bad practice here when you have all these different things going on, and nobody knows how this race is going to finish. It could go all green from here, or there could be 4 or 5 more yellows. We could have unlimited green-white checkers, and then you're definitely going to need it.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain there's going to be more cautions. I'm pretty certain of that, and I'm pretty certain there's also going to be a green-white checker that goes along with it.
And here's the other thing. Austin Hill lost his teammate. So he's up there now in the outside lane with a Toyota behind him, and 2 Gibbs Toyotas restarting on the bottom, and for the first time in a while, those 3 JGR Toyotas broken up on a restart.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by this, by the choose, where the 54 and the 19 did not go with the 18. I think they probably thought the 18 would take the bottom, and it didn't play out that way.
We heard Trevor really likes the top lane. So
yes,
that's true. A piece of that.
Georgia's own Austin Hill leading with 20 laps to go. We're green once again at Atlanta.
We're ready for him to try to ditch you here.
Yeah, I noticed this. These leaders do such a good job at attaching on every one of these restarts so far.
Connected by 2 feet, by half. Still on you pushing. Don't let him get outside you. Still on you pushing.
The back straightaway, the top lane's about to haul here.
Oh, it is hauling, Joey. Trevor Bayne with a big push for Austin Hill to clear him for the lead.
Listening in on Derek Nealon. On the spotter stand for Austin Hill.
Still on you. Off you now by 3/4. Next 3 are single file in your mirror. 19 to go.
Here's those collet cars, 3rd and 4th.
I don't think Trevor Bayne probably likes where he's at right now. He is sandwiched between some Chevys here.
And this is a situation you get into, right? Like, oh, I got myself up front. I got traction. It's great. I have no friends, though. And you got guys that are going to gang up on you as soon as they possibly can. And your closest help is back there in 7th or 8th.
You have to think, Joey, that those colored cars are going to just bide their time and make the move. And they didn't even get it out of my mouth. They're going to hang Trevor out here. Oh, gosh.
Trevor squeezed him. Allmendinger almost in a wall there.
Yeah, it looked like Landon Castle might have just barely got the wall. Have to see the replay there.
Josh Berry back in the top 5, trying to get his 4th in a row. So good lately. He's driving the 8 car for Junior Motorsports.
Now we're 1, 2, 3, 4 Chevrolets in the top. Toyota right behind him.
Trevor's got to get up as quick as he can if he still wants a chance to win this thing.
Can't say enough about the 92 of Kyle Weatherman. So good for Mario Gosselin today.
Whoa,
if he didn't get it, Landon Castle was really, really close to a kiss.
When we talk about first-time winners, Landon Castle is in position with a really fast race car right here. He's got a shot at this one.
You know, I asked Castle today, how do you prepare for this race, given all the unknowns? He said, I worked on my setup for Coda because he felt like, I know I'm going to need a bounce back. You just, no guarantees at this place, right?
None at all.
His teammate Allmendinger second.
If he gives you an opening, the 10 is with you. You can't take it. We can protect the top the whole time. I'm good with that. If he stays down, you make your move up top. Even if you make it early, we can protect the top. It's not like Daytona, Talladega.
The one thing that is like Daytona, the top two, Austin Hill won, Allmendinger was second. Jamie?
And how about Austin Hill? Since that win at Daytona, he hasn't finished inside the top 15. He told me before this race, too, he wasn't sure about this race. He couldn't break the bubble. He felt like other cars could. Well, since the drop of the green flag, he's had no issues whatsoever, trying to become the first driver born in Georgia to win this Xfinity Series race.
He's from Winston, less than 60 miles away from here. The sponsor, Bennett Transportation and Logistics, also a Georgia company. They've got 160 employees in the stands today, and they would love to celebrate in Victory Lane. We'll have 13 laps remaining next time around.
Yeah, you see AJ's beating his back bumper off right now, trying to push him out ahead, trying to keep the bottom lane from forming. Right, that's what AJ's trying to do right now. I'm going to push this 21 of Austin Hill out here as far as I can so we don't get too wide and get himself trapped to where he can't make a move.
Yeah, and that push right there helped them go about 0.3 of a second faster that lap than they went the lap before. And he's going to need to keep pushing if they're going to hold off Trevor Bayne, because Trevor Bayne is coming.
He has such a fast car. He's down there, not a whole bunch of help behind him. Look how separated they are on the bottom. No one's really that close, and he's able to maintain. We have not seen the bottom lane be able to move without having good cars behind him, cars that can stay really tight on him. Trevor's doing it on his own for the most part. You see Austin Hill move to the bottom.
Bottom lane closest to you here, 3/4 back. Here comes the top lane, half back. Bottom lane still closest.
Pace has picked up. They were running 31.70s, Joey, this last lap, 31.20s through 31.40s.
Hill is doing an incredible job of managing the top and the bottom.
Bottom, half lane.
Don't write off Ryan Sieg. Tucker George is where he's from. He's third and peaking on Trevor Bayne.
Trevor,
remember the start of the race? He didn't have any water in that car. Look at him go now. Whoa!
Bayne goes high into the wall. Here comes Ryan Sieg down low.
Oh, no.
And the caution will be out.
Ooh, to 7.
Barry's involved. Gregson's involved. Sage Karam hits the inside wall.
Justin Allgaier was involved. We're still on Sam Myers.
No record. That's the big one that we've all been talking about. A lot of damage to the 18. We're just talking about how fast that car was, a 9.
And there was nowhere to go there, Joey.
Not looking good either.
Jeb Burton got a piece of the action in the 27. The 36 is Alex LeBay.
Poor Dale Jr. Every one of his cars from Junior Motorsports was in that crash.
They had a good day. Gregson led 38 laps. Barry led 3. Stephen Parsons. The SoCal Chevy for BJ McLeod coming to pit road with damage.
It looked like, Joey, Trevor Bayne was trying to get up in a hole that maybe was, maybe wasn't there. It was just real tight and probably didn't get any brakes.
Yeah, you're not going to get brakes at this point anymore.
The top 10 streak will end at 16 for Justin Allgaier. He's climbing from his car and being greeted by the AMR safety team.
Good to see that. He took a big hit. He was down low on the backstretch and got hooked in the right rear. But yeah, here, let's go back to turn 4 and look and see what happened here. Trevor Bayne, really fast run right here. Got Ryan Sieg trying to get underneath him, slows him down a little bit. He comes back up here in front of AJ Allmendinger. I think he felt like he was clear, but just wasn't quite there. Gets a little bump and into the wall, and then the car just kind of peels off the wall, Joseph, and gets all these guys long way.
Yeah, and you know, Trevor was clear. He was clear, but when he moved up in front of him, it's so tight to his back bumper, it looks like it loosened him up.
Yeah.
You know, and he got loose and chased it into the wall, and then he was still chasing. Here we go. You see Trevor move up in front of the 16. He's clear. It's just tight. Gets the air taken off into the wall. Now he's trying to catch it. He's still trying to catch it. They're 3 wide and just collects everybody else. I mean, when I say everybody else, like everybody else.
Whoa, I don't know who made that move. That was a great move down the middle of the back. Somebody threaded the needle there. JJ Yaley, I hope that's our visor cam.
Let's go on board with Riley Herbst, who's had a host of problems today.
Keep digging low. Keep digging low. They're watching here. Keep digging. Keep low, low, low. Low, 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 low. Running behind you here. Yellow's out. Yellow's out.
Tim Fedua on the spotter stand. And now our visor cam riding with a 66. This is JJ Yaley.
18's in the wall up in front of us here.
This one.
You're clear. Watch it break it here. Back it down. Back it down. Back it down. Creep it. Creep it. Good. Good job.
James Coleman, the spotter there.
Just end of the race here, Joey. Everybody gets a little bit closer.
Hard racing.
And that speed shot really gives you an idea of the impact. Likely going to be less than 5 laps to go. When we restart, Austin Hill going to be the leader.
I really don't feel like that was my fault. He hit me like right in the center, and he hit me so hard it made him lose his front end. Seeing that that's what you saw, because that's what I saw.
Hey, listen, I got broad shoulders. I'm here to win the race. Somebody can punch me into the mouth if they want to. I'm here to win. So unless they're outside of your bumper or your quarter, they're not there.
Oh, he's got a point. He definitely was not outside.
Time to go racing, man. It's time to go racing. Forget about it. Move on. It's over. It doesn't matter whose fault it is if you're Austin Hill at this point. Figure it out after the race. You're still winning. You got a chance to win this thing.
That's though where the spotter has got to become the psychology coach a little bit, right? Because the last thing you want on this next restart is Austin Hill thinking about that. He needs to look forward and think about coming and winning this second race of the year.
Look forward by looking backwards.
There you go. Look forward
Out the mirror.
with your rearview mirror, right?
That's right.
Interesting to see on this restart when we get back going. This thinned the field out quite a bit, and some of the best cars were took out. So it'll be interesting to see if the runs still form the same way. You know, a lot of times late in these races, AA, you see some of the best cars kind of fall out due to attrition, wrecks, you know, mechanical breakdowns. And when that happens, it changes the dynamic of the race. It's harder to get runs. It's harder to make passes to get to the lead. So we'll have to see how this shakes the field up a little bit.
You're right, Brad. That's a good point. As there's less cars on the racetrack, we talked about it a little bit earlier, the difference between practice and the races. You got 30 cars out there and everyone's running hard instead of having 10 cars. You know, now you're getting a little bit closer to what practice is like. It's going to be a looser pack. Sometimes the runs become bigger because it's a looser pack and cars are carrying a run from 6 or 7 cars back, weaving through the field, because there might be more space to do that. What I do see here still, though, right, you have Austin Hill, you have Ryan Sieg, 1-2. Then you have Allmendinger and Castle, 3rd and 5th. You still have those colleague teammates up there. And then you go back a little bit more, 7th and 8th, the Gibbs cars. So there's still some teammates out there that can gang up, but there's a lot less numbers for those guys than there was before.
5 of the top 10 have never won a race in the Xfinity Series. Then you go outside the top 10. Yaley, 11th, never won. Curry, 12th, never won. Mason Massey, Georgia driver, 13th, never won. Ryan Vargas, Jeffrey Earnhardt. And by the way, the top 2 guys right now, both from Georgia, grew up an hour away from where we sit right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And we've talked about this final stage and how costly it's been, because there have been a number of crashes, a number of cautions. Here's a look back. Jade Buford got us going here. Jeremy Clements involved. Anthony Alfredo got a piece of the action. Hemrick in the 11. Done for the day. Also the 07. Joe Graff Jr. taking a big hit. Brandon Brown in the mix. A little tap and a little slide. Heck of a save for the 68. And the aftermath of our most recent crash that happened, the closest thing we've seen this weekend to the big one. And we've talked so much this year about the Junior Motorsports Chevrolets, and I don't know how many times I've said it. All 4 Junior Motorsports cars in the top 10. I guess turnabout is fair play, because in this case, all 4 Junior Motorsports cars involved in that crash. 6 to go, still under caution, and we're going to have a shootout. Who wins the Xfinity race, and is a star born later today on the short track? They're ready to go in Atlanta. Let's look at the drivers in today's race. From the great state of Georgia, Mason Massey, our leader Austin Hill, the Sieg brothers, Ryan and Kyle. Ryan on the front row, likely, or restarting up there in one of the top spots depending on the choose. Brandon Jones from Atlanta. A couple of those guys looking for their first career win. The Braves are the world champions. The Dogs are the national champions. It's a good time to be from Georgia, Regan.
Well, it's always a good time to be from Georgia. Adam, unfortunately, I'm not from Georgia. Hey,
oh, you're from New York. Well, that did not segue well.
I had to do what I could there, but Myatt Snyder, the 31 car, having a little bit of issue. They ran something over in all the debris of that wreck right now, and basically feels like something is banging around in the front of that car. Pulled up next to A.J. Allmendinger, and they said they didn't see anything on it. Something to look out for on this restart, though. Myatt Snyder may be a little issue with that car.
That's comforting.
Yes. Hey, go run this baby wide open about 190 mile an hour.
In front of the whole field.
Yeah.
In fourth place. It's one thing doing that, the last car in line.
Yeah. Never mind that noise.
Here's the choose.
All will take the top.
All 3 up top. Actually, everyone just really shies away from that bottom lane with these Xfinity cars. It presents a great opportunity to gain a few rows if you somehow can find a way back up. It seems like the top really prevails for the first lap, Brad, and then it seems like eventually the bottom starts to regroup and make it all back up to where they're racing for the lead again. So
Yeah, I would agree.
I feel like I would chance it.
I would say every restart we're seeing that. After about 3 or 4 laps, the bottom lane gets back going. The problem is, Joey, we're going to go green. There's only going to be 3 laps to go.
There could be 15 laps to go.
Hey, Regan talked about his problems, but Myatt Snyder, front row. And he was running inside the top 10. We talked about it earlier when he flipped on the final lap at Daytona into the catch fence. It was crazy. But keep this in mind. He got his first career victory in March of last year on a 1.5 mile track at Homestead Miami Speedway. If he could win today, not only would he be in the playoffs, this would be incredible.
Oh, no.
Jordan Anderson, now the sparks.
That's
selling it.
Not good.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to overcome.
Your left side dragon, you got heavy sparks here, bud.
I think he needs to pit.
If he does, that'd put Riley Herbst on the front row.
It's sparking hard. There's no, it's hard, sparking hard here.
He does not have flat tires.
They're saying stay out, staying out, staying out, staying out.
He's just got something stuck underneath the car.
It's so hard to.
Oh, look how high the right front is. I think the sway bar is unhooked.
3 to go.
Something's happened here. This is going to be really interesting. And something's wrong with the 31 car entering turn 1. Riley Herbst is going to make quick work of him. Oh!
And he turns him.
Just
hang on to it. He's spun you. Hang on to it. Whole field's coming.
Oh my exactly what we were afraid of, Joey. The whole field coming at you.
How scary was that?
Well, you got to think that Herbst saw that car sparking. He said, I don't want to follow Myatt Snyder because he saw that something could possibly be wrong. So he made the move to go 3 wide to the bottom. Let's see here from the onboard a little bit. Look at the sparks right there out of the 31. You see it immediately. Gets going.
In this situation.
Easy now. Keep digging. Keep digging. You're fine. Keep digging. Out.
Myatt obviously
yellow's out outside.
said there was a problem. But as a driver in that circumstance, aren't you leaning on the crew to tell you to pit or no? How does that decision go down? How is it made?
Such a tough one there, Adam. I don't know if something's wrong with this car or if he just ran over something that's stuck underneath the car. Obviously, that's a lot of sparks. But I want to go back here real quick to Riley Herbst because I think some people are probably wondering why that happened. But he was getting pushed the whole time here from Ty Gibbs. So even if he wasn't on the throttle, he got pushed into that. I'm not sure there was much he could have done a lot differently. But from the Myatt Snyder perspective, I don't know what you could really do. You can't give up the lead and a chance to win a race.
That's what makes it so hard to do.
Here you see, here's Ty pushing the 98. It's really not much either of them can do. I mean, it's just a bad situation.
And we're really fortunate that we didn't have a whole lot worse crash because he has just spun right up in front of the field. Now he pits. Hey, Riley Herbst was a couple laps down in this race. He's another driver looking for his first career victory.
Shane Woodbeck, the crew chief on that car, trying to look over it as they're still on pit road, changing the left side tires. It looks like they're trying to pull something out from underneath that car. Well, don't look now, Joey, but green-white checkers have started.
Yep, we're into overtime. But you know, when we were talking about fuel mileage, what seems like 3 days ago, when we started talking about making these pit stops and can you go the distance, we have had so many caution laps. We're going to have to go several overtimes before fuel becomes a factor, right?
I think so. I mean, a lot of times, as a reference, you can almost go 2 laps to 1.
Yep.
Under caution. So if you think about if you're burning, you know, half the amount there or so, you typically would.
Let's go back 30 years, almost to the day. We had this in our Ford Track Facts. Jeff Gordon, first NASCAR victory, first ever Xfinity race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, driving that #1 car for Bill Davis.
Rick Hendrick tells a story that he was watching this race and saw Jeff Gordon with not just the handsome mustache, but the way he was wheeling this car and said, you know what? I've got to hire that guy. And that Rick Hendrick said that's what he did. Right after that, he made a call to Jeff Gordon and his management team and put the deal together. I think it was a pretty good deal for everybody.
It worked out pretty well for him, I think. Yeah, for both of them.
As Paul Harvey would say, and now you know the rest of the story. The resume is amazing. Jeff back in the booth tomorrow with Mike Joy and Clint Boyer. 3rd all-time when you look at Cup wins. 4 championships in the Hall of Fame. And now helping call the shots at Hendrick Motorsports.
Vice chairman.
That sounds really important.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds really, really big. We'll have to ask Jeff that tomorrow.
We've got overtime, as we talked about. This is a 2-lap shootout. Once the leader takes the white flag, the next flag ends the race. Doesn't matter if it's the caution or they make it back to the checkers, but if the caution comes out before the leader gets the white flag, we'll reset and do it all over again. And you look at the top 10, some great stories there. Austin Hill leading, Ryan Sieg second, both from Georgia. Riley Herbst third, looking for his first career win, driving for Stewart Haas. You know, Ty Gibbs trying to win again. A.J. Allmendinger looking for his first win of the year. Landon Castle in the top 10. It'd be career win number 1 for him. Brandon Jones trying to come back from a speeding penalty. Kyle Weatherman, Bailey Curry, Brett Moffitt, all drivers that have a chance to win for the first time in their career. And not just what it would mean for them, but the teams that they drive for. Great stories up there, top to bottom.
And you got to ask yourself, if you're driving one of those cars that you don't typically have a chance to win very often, you have a chance, what are you willing to do?
Yep.
Like, you have to, as a driver, you have to ask yourself that question. Probably right now would be a good time. Maybe before the race would have been an even better time. But you have to ask, what am I willing to do to win this race? And can I live with myself after that and deal with the consequences that go along with it as well? And for these teams, they're probably willing to do a lot more than someone like an A.J. Allmendinger or Austin Hill, or even Ryan Sieg that runs up front pretty consistently.
Ryan Sieg going to take the bottom on the choose. It's a big moment here.
Be 39 and 54 behind them, believe it or not. So it'll be 98, 16, and 10 lined up behind you. 39, 54, 19 first view on the bottom.
That was 21 Team Radio.
I have a feeling the colored cars are going to play a key role in deciding this race. The 16, the 10, you know, how hard they push each other, and the front row up here on this restart. We've seen the bottom lane has not took off very well for at least a lap or two. I can definitely see the colored cars getting aggressive here and making a run for this. It's going to be an exciting finish.
To your point, Brad, there's not much loyalty in the front 4 cars.
Yep.
Or 3 cars. There's some loyalty there at the 54 and the 19. You know, they may work together in the 16 and the 10. Outside of that, those other drivers are going to be.
Hey, wait a minute. Remember how stage 1 ended? We had teammates racing each other. Is there ever loyalty when there's a checkered flag on the line? I don't know.
Maybe.
I
think to get to the lead, yes. After they get to the lead, it may change.
I'm standing with 2 guys who used to be teammates. I'm just saying.
We really showed them how to do it that one time.
One time at band camp.
Here we go. Overtime at Atlanta, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Ty Gibbs giving Sieg a huge push right here.
They crashed each other, and there we go.
Big wreck in the back of the pack.
Caution back behind the leaders. Will go to double overtime.
That should move Ryan to the lead.
Tommy Joe Martins, Jesse Iwuji, and the 5 of Matt Mills. And we understand with all that fluid coming from Matt Mills' car, we'll get a red flag.
Matt not very happy with that result, as you can tell.
I go back to Sieg and Ty Gibbs working together, and you rewind a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas, and they had a rift. It's unbelievable how everything in this sport comes full circle.
Yeah, it's racing.
Yeah, life comes at you fast, guys.
Well, it's not just the Ryan Blaney rule. Turns out when Brad Keselowski comes to the booth, we also have red flags. You know?
I guess so.
I got to see what happened here. This wreck happened pretty far back in the field. Matt Mills here 17th. He's going to get a push from behind.
Oh, you see the car on the outside there.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, it looks like.
Looks like he got loose maybe from a push at that point.
Came down and collected Matt. The guys behind him just got caught up in it. No contact for...
You see that fluid coming out of the 5 right there.
Stephen Parsons involved. Mike Snyder in the back gets caught up in it.
It's the second time today that Stephen Parsons has been involved in an incident. This is what it feels like over the bumps, right?
As long as you don't fall off.
Yep.
I know what I would like to see out of Clint on race day tomorrow now. I'd like to see him riding the bull. Better yet, let's put Chris Myers on there. What do you think? We've now tied the track record with our 10th caution. And keeping in mind, I mean, this was a scheduled 250-mile race. This is 50 miles shorter than a normal mile-and-a-half race in the Xfinity Series. And NASCAR does that because it's paired up with the trucks and it's a doubleheader.
Yeah, and just think tomorrow will be this race twice.
Times two.
Times two, 500 miles. Where today is 250 miles, 251 miles, I guess technically, but we'll say 250. But I think maybe we have Ryan Siege on the old radio here.
I think we do. Let's
reach out to him.
I'm sure he's bored in there. Ryan Siege, Joey Logano up here in the Fox booth. You got me?
Sir, got a copy.
Well, I'm sure your heart rate's going 10,000 miles an hour at the moment. You're sitting in the lead. You got a great shot at this thing. The lane choice is going to be a big piece of it. You got some teammates around you with the Gibbs cars, and the Collett cars are still somewhat close to each other. What's your thoughts here?
I wish I had an idea. I would say wherever hopefully Gibbs was get behind us, you know, he gave us a big push right there, helped us get the lead there, but it's going to be a tough one. Everybody's done the outside all day, but I feel like if you have a big enough push on the bottom, you can do good, but it's nerve-wracking. I know it's definitely a fun situation we're in right now, but all in all, it's been a great day. We found ourselves working to the front, so just can't thank Ford and CMR enough for all that they do, and Mom and Dad.
Absolutely, man. Well, you've done a great job. I found in these super speedways, as long as you can get yourself to the end and have a chance at a green-white checker as a driver, you've done a good job. So good luck, man. Bring it home.
Thanks, Joey.
Ryan Sieg is one of the most laid-back drivers in the garage. But his dad, Rod, is one of the most entertaining men you'll run into down there. Just loves to have a good time. So fun. And this entire team has been working for many, many years to put themselves in this position, and he's been close before. I think back a few years ago at Talladega, he was second. He finished second to William Byron at Iowa when William got his first career win driving for Junior Motorsports. He's been in the hunt. Wouldn't it be incredible if Ryan Sieg could not only win, but win here in Atlanta? That's just a short drive from his hometown of Tucker, Georgia. And while it would be big for him because it's his first career win, it's big for anybody from this state, including Austin Hill, who's running second right now.
Well, we see some great dancing and hustling, but I want to hear somebody else who's going to hustle to try to beat Ryan Sieg. Let's talk to Austin Hill. Austin Hill, Brad Keselowski up here in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you're in quite the seat right here. We've been watching and following along. You've done a great job. Restart there didn't quite go the way you wanted, but you still got a great shot at it. What you thinking here for this green-white checkered?
Yeah, a little unfortunate that we lost the lead there. It's just I was really concerned with the 98. Didn't want him to jump to my outside, obviously. So that allowed the 39 to kind of get out in front a little bit right when the caution came out. But yeah, I mean our Bennett Chevy Camaro has been really good all day. RCR's brought me a really fast race car to the racetrack. So I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, I wish I could tell you, but you know, maybe we can get a run here and coming to the white flag, we can make something happen like we did at Daytona. It's just one of those things. You got to build your runs and make the right move at the right time. So hopefully we do it.
Well, 10-4 on that. You've done a great job, Austin, putting yourself in position. We'll be watching and cheering you on. Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
We've talked about it so many times, the mental reset that a driver has to go through under a red flag. But when you're doing it, anticipating overtime, they're going to be challenged when we come back.
to be like, what, a 5-hour marathon?
I got a date to make tonight. Let's get this thing get this thing rolling here.
You broke into those peanut butter crackers yet?
I had 4. Yeah, I could use a good squeeze or something. Monster Energy.
I mean, he's got a date. He's 19. What's he going to the prom tonight?
I don't know. Let's just figure out more about this. We got him teed up. Ty Gibbs, Joey Logano in the Fox booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
We were eavesdropping on your conversation out here. You're hungry. You got a hot date. We have so many questions about your hot date right now. But let's talk about race cars. We'll talk a little bit about race cars. You're sitting up towards the front. You got your teammate, Jones, sitting in 6th. Things are looking pretty good. The sun's down now, so you can see where you're going. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Where's your head at for this restart?
Yeah, I feel like we've got a good car. We just got to figure out what line we need to get in. It just depends where the 39 and 21 take. So, I think we definitely have speed. It's just, trying to get in that right spot and hopefully not getting wrecked because there's a lot of that happening right now. So, hopefully I can walk out of here and, 4th place right now is not too bad, but 1st looks pretty fun.
Absolutely, man. You're close to the front like you've been in all the other ones. So keep doing your thing. We don't know what's going to happen either.
10-4, thanks for the positivity.
Hey, remember on that last restart, we saw him working with Ryan Sieg. And I brought it up, but Joey, you were in the booth a couple of weeks ago at Las Vegas when he's rallying through the field like 5 laps into the race, and this happens.
Yeah, that was pretty early in the race. They had a little conversation here, and this is how that conversation went. Not too good. Not too good, and Sieg tried to give him a little taste of something, and what happened? Well, Ty Gibbs went on and win that race.
That's the worst. When you try to retaliate against someone and then go on and win. Oh.
That hurts. And now here they are, sitting side by side, 1st and 3rd.
I will say, though, NASCAR brought them both together, right? NASCAR talked to both of them, and then they talked to one another. And reading the body language of the situation and hearing the interviews last weekend in Phoenix, everybody appeared to be in a pretty good place. But if you're Ty Gibbs and you can push Ryan Sieg to his first ever win here at his home track, we call all good for sure, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think you're past all good. I think it goes back the other way.
The pendulum will swing.
That's how I feel about that. Maybe I'm wrong, Joey.
I'm pretty sure Ty Gibbs is going to help the 39 get out if he's in front of him, but he's not going to push him all the way to the win. He's going to try to win the race. We've seen that happen out of Ty over and over again. He's a very aggressive race car driver. He's a good race car driver, but he's very aggressive. And he's going to try to win. He's not going to push him just to get good guy points. That ain't going to work.
0% chance. Jamie?
Hey, Adam, every driver has to start somewhere, right? Well, here's some future superstars, the kids. They're going to race the Bandoleros, and they're all patiently waiting for their turn. When this race wraps up, they'll roll out there to the front stretch. They'll race on the quarter-mile track in the Tri-Oval. This is a little Bandolero. Check it out. Lots of kids lined up. This is where it all begins, right, Joey and Brad?
Absolutely. I raced out here in the quarter mile, lived here in Atlanta for 6 years, and raced those Bandoleros and Legends cars out here with David Reagan and Reed Sorensen and a few others that made it here from Georgia. And, man, that was so much fun. And I did that exactly. I would wait for the race to end because I thought it was like the coolest thing to race in front of all the fans that were still here from the Xfinity race. You race out in front of them on the quarter mile in your Bandolero like this number 38 is here. And it was just the coolest thing. So I used to have so much fun doing that race with my parents and every week. I don't know, so many great stories that came out of it. And like everyone just had fun. It's just
Little League for racing.
It's like the most fun racing you will ever have. Is at that level. Such a great time.
So you're not going to tell the world the story that you already told us a couple times?
I won 14 straight on the quarter mile. I don't want to brag or anything, but
every commercial break, ladies and gentlemen.
Not every other, not at the end of every stage. Every commercial break. Hey, did I tell you guys I won 14 in a row out here?
14 in a row. No one could hang.
Hey, you didn't just live in Atlanta. You lived here at the racetrack.
Right in a condo off of turn 4. I stayed right here all the time. So really want to win here.
Should we, I mean, you won at your home track in New Hampshire. Should we kind of list this as a secondary home track for you, Joey? What do you think, since you lived here and you won all those races at the lower levels?
In ways, it'd be really cool. Yeah, it's neat walking around like the suites and everything. I used to watch all the races here as a fan, right? I watched Kevin Harvick get his first win here. And now showing up as one of the drivers racing Kevin Harvick, but also coming up here to the booth and talking. It's just a really cool kind of surreal feeling that, you know, not too long ago I was that kid out there racing, and now on the big stage, it's pretty neat.
First ever race here for the Cup Series, 1960. So we've been coming here forever, but we've talked about all the changes to this track. Is there something special about winning tomorrow because, you know, you're the first to do it under this configuration, Brad?
Absolutely.
Add a little pepper to it?
Anytime there's a new track, a new layout, a new whatever, you want to be the first one to win. Like, I adapted faster than anyone else, and it's a good feeling for sure. So, you know, Joe, you won the Clash in L.A. and then the Bristol Dirt Race, and it's just an extra badge or chip on your shoulder, I guess, in some ways.
I'd rather just have more wins in general. I don't even care where they are. I want to win them all. I don't care. It is nice to win the first. That is for sure. Inaugural events, that's special, or new surfaces like we see here today in Atlanta. But, you know, as a driver, you want to win all of them, right? There's 38 of them. I want them all.
Double overtime for the Xfinity Series. What do we expect on this next restart?
I think that the front row, you got Ty Gibbs, you got Ryan Seed. How are they going to choose? Is Ty Gibbs going to pick behind Ryan and push him, maybe to the lead, maybe to the win, maybe not, just to pass him on the last lap? There's a lot to be settled here.
Who's the favorite? Is it Austin Hill? Because I feel like he, even though he's not in control on this restart, and he mentioned that in the interview you guys did with him, I feel like he is the guy that has spent more time in control at the front of the field of the group that's up there right now.
He's been up front. He's been leading. We also noted a few times, though, he doesn't have any teammates with him. He's kind of up there a little bit on his own, and you still have the Collett cars and Gibbs cars. So it's hard for me to say that Austin Hill is in the catbird seat at this moment. He's at great track position. He's up front. He definitely can win the race, don't get me wrong. But I do think he doesn't have numbers with him, and that could work against him at some point.
Hey, this is your fourth race of the year. Third time we've had a red flag. Just so you know, Brad, Joey is well aware.
It's his fault.
We don't pay overtime, though. I mean,
I just wanted more airtime,
nothing
man.
extra. That's right. You're just building your brand courtesy of Fox Sports. It's been a good one so far. Double overtime coming. Let's get down. Ride that bull.
Oh. don't think they're on their belly. I think they're on their bottom. Maybe not.
I would say this is a live look at Regan Smith under the red flag here at Atlanta, but that would be a lie. We couldn't talk Regan into doing that.
We tried, folks. We tried. He said he was scared of heights. That's okay. I can understand that. And not only that, I think he wanted more money. So
we already said we don't pay extra for overtime.
No extra for overtime. Sorry, Regan. Next time.
Analyze what we're going to get here on the restart. They've done the choose.
Well, it looks like from here,
Austin Hill picked the bottom.
You don't have teammates alliance with the Gibbs cars. They're separated in different lanes.
Got
when you have the Colin cars right behind each other there in the outside.
Sieg goes outside, and he's got Gibbs behind him. I mean, this has got a chance to take a huge turn from what we saw a couple of weeks ago.
This looks to me like what you're going to see is Ty's going to push the 39 out to the lead, and then he's going to try to make a move on him. That's what I think we're going to see. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, that sounds like it's a good chance that happens. These green-white checkers, though, it's so hard to say what's going to happen, but we're going to find out right now.
Double overtime here at Atlanta.
There goes the shove fest
Outside
here.
door. Still on, you've locked on pushing. Outside quarter, bumper.
Ooh, the inside lane's looking good here, Joey. Ty Gibbs still pushing into 3.
I thought Austin Hill had the advantage. Outside lane is rallying. Hill got loose. Here comes Ryan Sieg. He's leading. White flag is out. 1 to go. Next flag ends the race. Here's Ty Gibbs looking low for the top spot.
What a move he just made there. I think he's going to clear him, but it's not over yet.
Ty Gibbs out front. The crossover.
Ooh, Ty
Here
got
comes
way
the Colin
ahead.
cars up top. No run, though. No momentum.
3 wide for second. That's A.J. Allmendinger with a push from Landon Castle.
And Ty Gibbs is gone.
Ty Gibbs looking for his 2nd win of the year. He did it at Las Vegas. Back to the checkered flag. He's a winner in overtime at Atlanta.
How about that? Let's go! It ain't over till it's over!
I think he's going to be late for his date tonight.
He's got a good excuse for it.
He sure does.
And the answer to car 54, where are you? Meet me in victory lane.
Let's rewind it back to the restart. You see a great push from Ty Gibbs. Both lanes were really well connected here. Ty did a great job of getting Ryan way out front, and then a big run, Joey, you saw down the front stretch with 1 to go.
Yeah, it all happens when they come back around here. You see this shove fest, I call it a shove fest, as they go down the back straightaway. They're side by side all the way down the back straightaway. And then you see off of turn 4 here, look at he's got a push from A.J. Allmendinger. And the 39, he can't defend this. Too big of a run, can't do anything about it. Gets a big run, clears him before he goes into the corner. You see the 16 get loose, that kind of hurt his momentum. Now they're 3 wide, all stalled out after that, and the rest is history.
Yeah, AJ gave a great push right here to the 54 car and just really set the stage.
I mean, how do you can't stop that. He almost had him pinned in there before inside the 21, but couldn't quite do it.
Ryan Sieg ends up unofficially in the 10th position. And for Ty Gibbs, he takes the lead on a restart at Las Vegas. He led the final 6 laps. Only laps he led that day. Today, he led 1 lap. The last one in double overtime. And for the 7th time in his career, he is celebrating in the Xfinity Series. Oh, and he hit the ground.
I think he's okay. This is why we wear helmets, folks.
Don't ever say we're not athletes, right?
It's hard. You get out of these cars, it's been hot, long red flag, you're wearing a helmet, it's easy to lose your balance.
And he's so excited, too, obviously. When you win a race like that, you don't know you're going to win it to the last second, man. It means so much to get that win, and the emotions are just, look at the emotions out of Ty. I love it.
4 wins last season, 2 wins this year, 6 in his career, and he's got another checkered flag. Incredible day. And next up, he can try and make that date, Jamie.
He is is dreaming about what just happened. Ty, you never raced here. You overcame an issue on pit road when you couldn't see with the sun in your eyes, and now you are more jacked than I think I've ever seen you for a win. Why is this one so big?
I don't know. I think, first of all, I want to say all glory to God. I want to say thank you for letting him be able to get me in these moments. Second of all, I want to say thank you to my team. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I did not expect this at all. That was one of those where, I learned a big lesson, just never give up, and let's go.
And I could hear your team. They told you, you're always in this. Never give up in an Xfinity race. How much of that did you think about, especially when you had to sit in your car there for the red flag?
Yeah, it definitely was a long time, but, I'll tell that date. I'll miss her. I'm missing the date. I'm going to go party with the boys. Let's go!
Sorry, date. He's not going to make it. Ty Gibbs wins at Atlanta.
Austin Hill comes in a very close second place here. Seemed like you did everything right tonight, Austin. Had your car in position where you need to. I heard you on the restart say, "I'm out." Did you run out of fuel at the end of this race?
Yeah, so coming off of turn 4, coming to the green, I'm sloshing it back and forth, seeing if I have fuel in the pickup, and it starts cutting in and out, and I immediately come over. I'm like, I'm out, and I almost came down pit road, and I was like, well, I'm going to try it, and if I don't get going, I'll just drop to the apron, and they can go on. So went for it. I don't know how we didn't run out of fuel there. We knew we were really close. They kept telling me to max save the whole time, but man, so close. I mean, this is 3 times now I've finished second. Once here in Xfinity, twice in trucks, and being my home track, it stings a little more than the others when you finish when you're the first loser. But we can't hang our heads down. We brought a really fast Bennett Transportation and Logistics Chevy Camaro today. RCR put a very fast race car up under me, gave me everything they needed to win the race. I think the biggest difference was when we had that other restart and the 39 edged me out and the yellow came out. I think that was the biggest difference, because I think if we could have kept the lead there and controlled it, I thought we had a fast enough car that we could have got the job done. So, but hats off to the 54 guys. They did a good job today. He made the right move at the right time, and we'll have to go on to the next one. It stings, but we got to hold our heads up.
Thanks, Austin.
First repeat winner in the top 3 series of NASCAR this season is Ty Gibbs. Double overtime at Atlanta. He takes the lead after we saw the white flag, and he brings it home. And how about his performance on 1.5 mile tracks? 2 for 2 this year. You couple that with what he did a season ago, and not just that, what Chris Gale and this 54 team have done. Pretty spectacular. A couple of things to pay off here. Mason Massey, a hometown guy. He's from Georgia, finished 6th. That's his career best finish. Kyle Weatherman comes home 8th. That matches his career best. And A.J. Allmendinger, 3rd today. He's now been top 10 rather, in every race this year. The model of consistency. But at the end of the day, it's all about Ty Gibbs. He just has something about him. He seems to always find a way.
Yeah, on a track that, you said 1.5 miles, he's really strong. This isn't the typical 1.5 miles. You guys saw that tonight when you watched this race. It's not what we typically see when you have lower horsepower in these cars and the draft really comes into play. It's more like Daytona or Talladega for sure that we saw today. So huge run for Ty. Sieg did everything I think he could have done. He was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time with a huge run that I don't think was defendable.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, you got to give Ty credit. He put himself in position with great pushes towards the end of the race. He was not where he needed to be most of the last few restarts, and he kept working, moving his lane, getting himself in position, and then good things happen to him. That's really how you win these types of races, and he earned it today.
Today, 250 miles-ish, because we had the double overtime. 500 tomorrow. What do we expect? It's always a long afternoon here for you guys.
It's a long one. The 500-mile race here at Atlanta, it goes for a long, long time. So I assume there's going to be some patience in there at some point for some drivers. Hopefully I can listen to my own advice here. Sometimes I don't, but hopefully I do, and able to keep ourselves alive to the end.
Well, a great doubleheader here in Atlanta between the 2 series, Adam, and finish it off tomorrow with a big cup race, 500 miles, like you said. This is going to be a tough, grueling race, and we're going to see some things we've never seen in Atlanta before.
Good luck to both of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. We had a blast.
And Joey, we'll see you next Saturday with Kurt Busch as the Xfinity Series goes road course racing in Austin, Texas. Tomorrow, our coverage of the Cup race begins 1:30 Eastern Time with race day. We're over to Fox at 2:30. And then at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, it's the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. Congratulations to Ty Gibbs, his second win of the year. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next weekend from Austin, Texas.
The ones at the top of the mountain, climb tighten the buckle. One with the right crowd that likes to rumble. Hold a nice crown, it's hard to be humble. We welcome you now to our arena. If you don't know by now, it's hard to beat us. You can tell by our demeanor how hard we leaning. Leave a lasting impression on who is the best, and it won't be